The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
It's World Party Day.
Ooh, doggy, we got a party now.
I like to party.
You know, there's going to be sex, drugs, rock and roll, chips, dips, chains, whips. You know, your basic high school orgy type of thing. I mean, I'm not talking candle wax on the nipples or witchcraft or anything like that. No. Just a couple of 100 kids running around in their underwear, acting like complete animals.
P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta.
Let's get this party started.
It's showtime.
World Party Day. Today?
On a Wednesday? That's stupid.
Yeah, you know, if World Party Day, if the people at World Party Day, if they want to, you know, gain a little steam, they might start by making sure it never lands on a Wednesday.
Yeah, if it's going to be the first week of April, why not the first Friday of April?
That makes sense.
Don't they know what they're doing? Do you know anybody at World Party Day? Josh?
I don't know anybody that's going to celebrate.
You don't know anyone on the committee?
Yeah, there's got to be a committee, a staff, a sales department.
Yeah, an international coalition that makes these types of decisions.
A promotion group.
You know, it's where you go east and it's further ahead. Maybe it's a Friday somewhere right now.
Those time zones are confusing, so you might be right.
It seems like that might be a little far-fetched. Sure, it's tomorrow in some places, but maybe there's a Friday somewhere.
Maybe they're just trying to get like midweek partying. Maybe they're trying to make that a thing.
Well, there was a time in my life or college where Wednesday was the big party day.
Oh, I thought it was always Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
It was Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, Wednesday was big.
It didn't friggin' matter what day it was.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think like Mondays were the only days we didn't party.
You're just recovering from the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday party?
I'll pretend to go to class today for a couple hours, and we'll just pick back right up tomorrow.
I'll be damned. World Party Day. Welcome to the Half-Ass Morning Show. I had no idea. I used to party. I partied quite a bit. Usually I'd start with one beer. Move on to 2 beers.
What?
3 beers.
What?
A shot of tequila.
What?
A margarita.
What?
But World Party Day landed on a Wednesday. They got to get a handle on that, Josh.
Yeah, somebody made a mistake.
It's like the first time I was invited to a wedding that was scheduled for a Sunday.
It's cheaper.
I was young.
A Sunday wedding. Oh.
Yeah, I was 24, 25, and I remember when I read the date, and I was dialed into this one. This was a really fun friend of mine. Wouldn't miss it for the world type of a deal. And I remember when I got the invitation, and I read the date, and saw that it was a Sunday, I remember thinking, do these folks not understand how this is supposed to work? Sure, a couple people get married. Who cares about what day that falls on, that particular act, where I pronounce you man? Who cares what day? But the reception? I mean, do they not understand? We're all supposed to get as drunk as our bodies can tolerate, and then we have sex together, and we sleep until noon the next day. How the hell are we supposed to manage that on a Sunday? Totally threw me.
People with Sunday weddings are idiots. Idiots, let me tell you.
Oh, you don't know anybody, Josh, that maybe got married on a Sunday in January once, do you?
My idiot wife did. I still give her crap about that.
You got married on a Sunday?
Yeah, remember it was a playoff. The Packers were in the playoffs that day.
Against the Giants.
Well, that much I remember, but I swear to God that was a Saturday.
No, it was a Sunday because we got the venue for free if we waited for a Sunday.
Did we not go to work the next day?
We must not have.
No, we must not have, because I don't recall that as being a night where I tried to control myself in any way, shape, or form. Hell, we left Josh's boring wedding reception and we went over to the Boom Boom room and got loaded. We must not have worked the next day. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh.
Had we gone to work the next day?
Yeah, I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so either, because, like I said, I remember spending all night long at the Boom Boom.
Maybe if the reception started at like 1 p.m.,
Wedding's at 11 a.m. Reception starts at 1.
Nah, it was later. But yeah, a friend of mine owned the establishment and said, hey, if you do it on a Sunday, we won't charge you a thing. Just pay the staff. So that was the way to go.
Nice.
And the Giants beat the Packers at that game.
Yeah.
In overtime.
Sort of Coughlin's face almost fell off because it was covered in red ice.
Somebody texted in and said, now parties, these days, parties are just people standing in circles on their phone.
Oh, that's lame. Really?
No, I don't know. I can believe it.
Yeah, I could believe that.
I actually don't remember the last time I've been to a real party.
A real party.
Last time I was at like a real party, it's probably less than a year ago, and that was not the situation.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
She's referring to the circles and the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really like that. But then again, it was like one of those parties where they had like the people that lived there had their own little band. So there's, they're like performing music. So it'd be probably pretty douchey if you were sitting there on your phone.
The people who lived there had their own little band, like the Partridge Family or something like that? What does that mean? The people who lived there had their own little band?
It was actually super cool.
A family band? Josh, did your family ever consider
the Jackson 5?
No, but
going
my dad did play guitar and sing in church.
Did your dad know how to play Carry On My Wayward Son?
No, nothing like that. A lot of church songs.
Yeah, I feel awful because I can't remember their band name right now, and I've been to like multiple shows that they put on in their apartment complex there. It's like all these buddies went in on an apartment complex.
They've gone on an apartment complex tour.
Yeah, and then like in the basement they had like a makeshift stage. It was super sweet.
I don't know about you, but I'd love to live in an apartment complex with a bad local band.
Me too. How
Wouldn't
lucky
that
is
be
that?
the best?
Practicing every day.
Yes.
Can I share a very thin wall with you guys?
Just waiting downstairs for your laundry to get done. Like, oh.
Yeah, I'd tell the landlord, look, I'm paying you an extra $50 a month because this is perfect. You're telling me there's a bad local band that lives somewhere in the apartment? I can't wait.
and we need a bigger bass drum, double bass, the biggest bass drums you can get.
They were all a part of it, so it's okay.
And I want the band to be so bad that our friends who come to our shows don't even remember the name of the band.
That is funny. You've seen them several times.
Yeah, I just remembered it. It's Virginia's Basement. Get it? Because they play in a basement? Ha.
Gotcha. What's with Virginia, though?
I think it was like a mom's name or something.
I don't care. Here's the good news. I don't care.
Misleading.
What are you screaming about?
Misleading.
What is misleading?
Virginia's Basement. They don't even know who Virginia is.
Nobody's met Virginia.
Who's Virginia?
Nobody's making any.
Basement now.
You guys just aren't making any sense. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I used to party. Those days have come and gone.
God,
Cubby.
It's killing me. I can't think of the last real party I've gone to. Like, just a crazy... I think it was a Halloween party. Boy, I'm going to say like 20-some years ago.
Wow. The last time you were at a real party where it was just beer drinking, hell raising, you don't know who the hell anybody is in one room, but in the next room you know everybody. And then there's a fight, and then there's some hookups. And then the cops come, everybody out.
Oh, actually, I guess you look something up.
Cars lined up all the way down the street. Music bumping.
All right, I just found out what it was, and this is embarrassing. 2004 is the last big party I've ever gone to.
Whoa. I was in high school. You could have invited me.
October in 2000. Yeah, that would have been great. A bunch of 20-some-year-olds and Dana, a high school student.
What helped you remember that suddenly? You were typing on your computer.
What reminded me was it was shortly after the first Anchorman movie came out. Because there was like 4 Anchormans at the party, and the party host, one of the biggest partiers that have ever lived in this building, a wonderful woman. Miss her. She was awesome. She's come on vacations with us, if that helps to remind you.
I think I know who you're talking about. Someone who worked in this building.
She worked in this building, salesperson in this building, and she hosted this big Halloween party, and she had a cutout of Ron Burgundy that people were taking pictures with.
That's really the last time you went to a genuine house?
A big, genuine house party.
Yeah.
Dude.
Huh. Well, yeah.
I was in.
That's a long damn time ago. Huh?
I was in 6th grade.
Sure. Great.
Should we have invited you as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where was I?
Well, I don't know. Does it have to be in a house? You know, we could nitpick all morning long because people are texting in saying your booze cruise hour.
I was thinking like a house party.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to talk,
that doesn't count then.
No,
I mean, I guess sure we do that.
Our booze cruises, we wouldn't be invited if we didn't work here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So.
And they've even threatened to leave us behind if we were late. So it's not like we were that important to be on those booze cruises.
I almost got lucky and missed one of them.
Oh yeah, when you had a broken foot or your injured foot. Is that the one you're talking about?
I had the gout.
That's what it was, gout. Okay.
And I damn near missed that booze cruise that year, and I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, I've been to some kind of wild stuff at bars and things.
Oh yeah, if we're talking about
that's different, I think.
Yeah, it is.
100%.
It is. It absolutely is different. Let's just be direct about this. We're discussing good old fashioned house parties. Yeah, we had some keepers back in the day. There was the gal that got her head run over by an Isuzu trooper with 7 passengers in it, and somehow she lived.
That's insane.
There was the deck collapse. That one comes to mind, the deck collapse.
We had a deck collapse party.
Woo, man.
Couple broken feet.
Nobody broke anything. I guess we were all drunk enough to be ragged, like a cat.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy,
everyone was too drunk to attempt to break the fall.
It was kind of funny because we were kind of sitting on the deck in those camping chairs, those cheap ones. And
I understand.
I fell down. I was sitting in the chair and I fell exactly back in the chair.
Oh.
And I was just sitting there, and one of my buddies who was inside he was like sleeping or something, came running outside, heard the crash and everything, and he thought I ran outside and just sat in the chair. I was so perfectly just dropped right where I was.
This chair used to be up there, but now it's down.
Dude, why would you run out and just sit in the chair?
I was at a house party where there was an almost knife fight. It was one of those fights where everyone's looking around. The 2 participants are praying their friends hold them back so they have an excuse not to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them had, knives out. They're ready to fight. Nothing happened there, thankfully. And that same night, a buddy of mine thought it would be funny to jump out of a 3rd-story window, which he did, came in, danced all night, had to have like 7 surgeries. He broke his foot so bad. But he had drank so much Jägermeister, he was feeling no pain that evening.
Oh.
He was down for the count. And Wapple, he was a big snowboarder like you, so he was out for a year, which was the most miserable part for him.
We had a buddy similar to that, Josh. He jumped off. It was a 2nd story. The house had gotten busted the night before in college, but everybody got underage tickets, So the next night, we weren't having a party. We were just hanging out, and our buddy goes upstairs, and that was the only set of staircase right there in the living room. He goes upstairs. All of a sudden, he comes walking in through the back door. We're like, what the hell happened? He goes, I wanted to see if I could have jumped out the bathroom window last night and got away. He wanted to see if he could have done it. So he jumped, broke his ankle, and he wanted to know if he could have done it the night before and gotten away and not gotten a ticket. So one night he gets a ticket, the next night he breaks his ankle, trying to see if he could have landed safely jumping out the bathroom window.
So he could have got away but not landed safely.
Correct.
That's what we've learned. Mm-hmm. Classic Country Jesus said he's 35 now, hasn't been to a party since he was 18. Ha ha, he wrote.
That's a forgotten character of your classic blowout house party. You got the drunk people, the vomiters, the fighters, but what you guys were just talking about, every group of friends had one. How should I say this? The stunt men and women.
Oh yeah.
Of your blowout house parties. There was usually 1 or 2 people who had to prove how interesting they were by jumping off of something or through something.
Jumping off roofs into pools.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Peeing into fires. That is an offense that I don't appreciate.
Yeah,
the
that's
smell.
gross.
Oh, sure. The peeing. There you go. I didn't even consider that.
There was an example of that, too, in St. Cloud, where there was a guy who wanted to show how tough he was, so he's punching holes in the sheetrock, in the basement of this crappy house. And he's like, look at me. And it was one of those instant karma things that was so great. because on like the fourth punch, he goes to punch through, hits the stud, breaks his hand and wrist.
Oh, no.
That's
Wow,
how you-
he was hitting that hard. He was confident.
That's how you do it.
I always like those people at parties too. Well, yeah, I guess like death stares at parties. You know, like you go to Duluth or in Minneapolis.
STAIRS.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were referring to someone who will stare
So
at
did
you.
I.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I've witnessed that before, where one guy with a cane went up to another guy and threatened to beat him up because he said, "Why you IFing my friend?" So that's what I thought you meant, that kind of thing.
No, like
Deadly sets of steps.
Yeah, so then you can just sit at the end of the steps and just kind of get a good entertainment for a half hour watching people fall down.
Oh, watching all the drunk people.
That is fun.
New Year's Eve 1990, Wapple. We just happened to be at a house party with a dangerous set of steps. And you're right. After a while, the smart people decided to gather at the bottom of the steps because so many people were having trouble going down. It was just an endless parade of bump. Somebody would at least have issues with the bottom, and we would watch people fall. Okay, we're talking about the stunt men and women of beer parties. Beef Cannon Jesus texted in and said, "Didn't I jump down a flight of stairs at a party?" Yeah, that's a flight of stairs. We're talking about people jumping off the roof. Yeah, I did. I decided to see if I could clear an entire set of steps, jump off the top and land down. Yeah, but that's nothing. We're talking about folks who were jumping off roofs. I never, ever got dialed into something like that.
I was probably seen as a bit of a buzzkill when it got to that point.
Were you the party mom?
Well, 100%.
Oh,
because,
gosh.
like, whether I'm hammered or sober, if I see somebody about to jump off a roof and they're drunk, I'm definitely that person that's like, hey, this is not a good idea. Like, your mother wouldn't be proud of you. You're going to break something. Don't do it.
You know how the best way to go down a flight of stairs is completely unconscious.
No.
Oh.
I learned that one night. I was standing at the top of a set of stairs at a house party, and my brother knocked me unconscious, and I woke up. I woke up at the bottom of the stairs, on my back, facing upwards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet your head hit every rung on the way down.
Why did you do that?
It did, but like I was saying, it's a beautiful thing to go down a flight of stairs completely unconscious. I didn't feel a thing on the way down. I woke up and I actually felt somewhat rested. It's a weird. I've been knocked out cold twice. Both by my brother, both at house parties. And I'm sure folks can text in that have been knocked unconscious by a punch to the head. You wake up feeling weirdly rested, like you've been there for 6-8 hours. It's a weird thing.
If your brother ever knocks me out at a party and I'm going down some stairs, just keep me out and you guys can surf me.
Oh, yeah.
Just for a little party entertainment.
Yeah.
It was such a weird feeling to awaken at the bottom of this long flight of stairs and have 3-4 people. Are you all right? And I don't know why I'm there, why they're asking me these questions. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a funny thing.
You could have swore you were at the top, and now you're laying at the bottom.
The first time he knocked me out cold at a house party, I knew it was coming. We were in a physical fight. The second time, I never even saw it coming.
Were you collateral damage, or was he going for you?
No, he was going for me. I said something very innocent to him, but he took it the wrong way, and next thing you know, just... Let me tell you something else about getting knocked out in that fashion. If you're a willing participant in a fight and you get knocked out or beat up terribly, your teeth blasted out, your nose broken, whatever, you don't get much sympathy from the chicks. You don't. Because you're just a dumb derelict who got in a fist fight at a house party. And some of you younger guys, you might think that chicks dig that. Generally, they don't.
No.
They don't.
No.
But if you get just launched down a flight of stairs while you're snoring, right, and land at the bottom, chicks dig that. I got a lot of sympathy that night.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right there.
The ladies thought I was so cute.
Did you ever ask your brother?
There, sleeping, huh?
Did you ever ask your brother for a repeat performance if you're having a tough night at the club or wherever you're at?
Yeah. Hey, the ladies aren't really looking at me tonight.
Yeah, my wingman sucks. Can you knock me out?
Knock me the hell.
Middle school counselor lady Shiza said that she was at a her husband was at a house party and two guys were jumping between silos. Luckily, nobody got hurt. I've seen that before, but it was a school. They were jumping between buildings of a school.
Oh, wow.
There was a house party. A couple guys got drunk and said, I know how we can amp this up as they were jumping. But I was the party mom, Ashley. I was trying my best to convince my friends not to do this. And one of them, I was desperate. Think about your mom, how sad she'd be if something happened to you. I was begging these guys not to do it, but they ended up doing it. It was fine, and they looked pretty cool. I gotta say that they had legendary status after that.
It's just burned in your head. Two of them doing it, and it looks badass.
I was after a while, I'm like, wow, I should just let them do what they're doing because this is pretty sweet.
Now I want to try.
Yeah, I used to party. I suck at parties now. I just walk around cleaning the place up.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But it hasn't been a rager party, but just a regular, get together. I do that.
I mean, yeah, if I have people at the house, if it's 4 people or it's 44, sure, I have a good time. I drink some beer. I do some jaw jacking, but I can't help myself. I walk around in every room of the house all night long, cleaning up the empty beer cans and picking up the this and that. And eventually someone will say, will you stop that? But I can't help it. I can't help it.
One of the grossest things I've ever done was at a house party, and this girl just projectile vomited all over the sliding glass door that led out to the deck and all over the carpet under it. And I don't know if I was just the right amount of tuned up, but nobody had to move or say anything, and I was on it. I picked up the carpet, threw it outside, started cleaning up the puke. People were like, what are you doing? And my only reasoning was, well, my mom would be really mad if she came home to this. And so
one time in high school, my buddy, his parents were gone for 3 days. It was one of those 3-day revolving door parties, people coming and going. And by Sunday morning, the place was just demolished. And my friends, we were always really good about cleaning up. People start wrestling up on Sunday, and we get to it, we clean up, and we do a great job. You could have performed surgery in this house. It was so clean. And my buddy, whose parents' house it was, wakes up, and he's disheveled. He walks out, and he's kind of rubbing his eyes. He looks around and he goes, no, this won't do. I'm like, what? This place is spotless, man. He goes, yeah, no, it's too clean. My parents will be suspicious.
Yeah,
we got to mess it up a little bit.
They'll be onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be too thorough with that.
Backdoor slamming walleye, Jesus said he sharted on himself at a house party in 1990.
Sorry.
Went to the bathroom, threw away his underwear, cleaned up the best he could, and went commando the rest of the night. Game on, he said. You've done that at a party, Dan.
I did, yeah. It's very depressing.
Same thing, you just throw away your underwear? What'd you do?
So this is to set up the weekend. I graduated college. I was dating someone. She went to a fish festival in California and cheated on me. So I was already pretty down.
At a fish festival?
Yes.
Oh, it's a double kick in the nuts.
I know.
Forgot about that.
Hippie in a tent.
And it was Halloween weekend. My buddy's like, hey, his girlfriend is still in college. We had just graduated. He goes, she's having a party. Just come. It'll be fun. Take your mind off things. So I go, and I feel old because it's college kids, even though I'm a year older than them. And then sure enough, I'm just standing there, and I thought I just had a little bit of gas, but it turned out to be a little bit more than I bargained for. So it's just, my girlfriend cheated on me at a fish concert. I'm at a college party feeling old, and now I have poop in my underwear. It was just a hat trick of awfulness.
Yeah, that's 60 years later old. You were too young old for that.
I was 23.
Michael wants to know which one of us is hosting the next house party. I'm going to have you guys over for sure when we get some extended time off. Because I can't have a party on a Friday and come back to work on a Monday. That's ridiculous.
No, not the way you party.
No, because we had one at my house during COVID, so it was like an outdoor thing. But yeah, it'd be fun to do something like that. Because Nick hosted the last one. Mm-hmm. Ashley had one but didn't invite any of us.
Right.
Well, I'll be there, Cubby. You know I will. And we'll let her buck for sure. What are we doing today? What day is it?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We've got an old buddy coming in today.
Who's that?
Matt Langer, the president of the State Patrol, the Colonel, Matt Langer. He's going to join us. He's, if you're familiar with Gordon Shank, We have him in from the State Patrol, answers people's questions about the rules of the road and whatnot. Langer used to do that for us, and he worked his way up to the top spot. Now he's leaving the patrol and just wanted to come in and say goodbye.
I'll be damned. I remember Matt Langer quite fondly. He used to be a regular on this show years ago, and then, of course, was skyrocketed to stardom, which happens often on this program, with the exception of the five of us, as we've mentioned many times. That's great. So, didn't we used to call him YTL?
Young Trooper Langer, yeah.
YTL, which stood for Young Trooper Langer.
Because he looked so young.
He did then, and I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm guessing he still has a youthful appearance.
He does. I mean, he's grayed out now, probably the stress of the job. It's been a rough patch that he's been going through. Well, I'm not saying him. I just mean everything that's happened the last few years has been rough.
Crazy.
I don't know how he's handling it, but
I don't know how the hell any of the cops handle it nowadays.
Oh, I wonder. I think I'd regret taking up that position real quick.
Yeah, me too.
Real quick.
So, Mark Langer.
Matt Langer. Our good friend, Matt Langer.
I want to ask him if he has any information about something crazy I saw on the highway yesterday. It was on 62, crossing the bridge kind of near the airport, and all of a sudden there's a big stop. I was on 62 West, and out of nowhere, it wasn't traffic, it was like 3 o'clock, and everybody's backed up, and I noticed there's a car off to the side a little bit. It looked like it was a breakdown, so I'm like, oh, okay, people are slowly going around. The guy who was in that car got out and sat crisscross applesauce on like the dotted white line in between the two lanes, and was just sitting there.
He's just chilling.
Just chilling.
That's a little break.
And then the cops were behind me, and they stopped traffic. I was like the last car to go past the guy before.
So you passed a grown person who was sitting on the highway, and everyone had to drive around him?
Mm-hmm. Just not moving, just sitting there, arms crossed, and didn't flinch as cars were, going around him. It was so bizarre.
Well, that's an extraordinary situation there.
I bet he doesn't know. He's
has
on
no
his
idea.
way out.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
What does he care? The report might be sitting on his desk. His feet are on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. He's got beer cans on top of it.
Yeah, that's all it is. He's using him as a coaster.
Mitch Langer.
No, Matt Langer.
Matt Langer going to be here later just to talk about every damn thing. He's an old friend. All right, we better get moving. Wednesday, dig you. We dig you for tuning in. Hope you're having a good time so far. We'll be back in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
The countdown is on for the 2024 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light, live from Detroit, and you can attend in person for free.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
See the next NFL stars and experience the ultimate NFL fan festival, featuring live concerts, interactive games, player autographs, and more. The NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light, April 25th through 27th. Visit NFL.com/draft access to register for free entry today.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
We were talking for a while there earlier about crazy house parties, mental stuff, fighting and jumping off of the roof and banging strangers in the laundry room and all that. Crazy house parties. They used to be a thing for me. Josh said he hasn't been to a legit butt-ass wild house party since when? 2000 plus 4?
04, yep.
That's hilarious. 20 years ago. I was just reading something about wild house parties. Someone once found a bra filled with vomit at a house party.
Yeah, I need the backstory to that.
Gross.
Bra filled up to the limit with puke.
I mean, whatever you got at the time, right?
Right.
It's better that than the floor.
Well, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I heard bras are expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be.
Anyone ever seen that drinker at the bar who slammed their 22-ounce tap beer and then, right back into the glass?
No. Oh, that makes me want to throw up thinking about it.
That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Thank goodness, no.
Here's a gal who butt-chugged some water at a party. Butt-chugged it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then she sprayed it on everybody. Sucked it in, blew it out.
That's impressive.
And it got on people.
Yeah, didn't he say his buddy took it, got a nice facial right there? He was a little close because I thought he said he was far enough away to avoid the shrapnel there. Or crapnel in this case, but his buddy got it right in the face.
Sure, yeah. And does everybody know? I didn't know what this meant. Does everyone? Something called a PED egg. It's a device that shaves the dead skin from the bottoms of your feet.
Those are nice.
I should get 4 or 5 of those, if that's really what it does. At a house party, a gal emptied the contents of a PED egg, bunch of dead skin flakes. She emptied it into a bowl of potato chips and then passed the bowl around at the party.
It's just mean. That's what that is.
Yuck.
What do you mean, yuck? What do you mean?
Maybe it had some extra flavor.
Makes you want to have a big house party, doesn't it?
Somebody's passing around some Fidos? No, I think I'll pass.
Oh.
Nice and salty and flaky.
Ah! Gross.
All right, here we go with the stupid news report for today. We've talked before, speaking of parties, I guess, we've talked before about how everybody loves Nashville, Tennessee nowadays. Everybody wants to go there.
It seems like that's the hot tourist destination for sure.
Mm-hmm. You might say everybody wants some. What band? Van Halen. What album? Women and Children First. What year? 1980. I like the way the line runs up the back of the stockings. I've always liked those kind of high heels too, you know. Anyways, it's all Nashville this and Nashville that these days. But if you're going to go there, keep an eye out for the dangerous morons. Nashville's got them, just like every other city. Like this effing guy. Right here. 26-year-old dude named Craig. There go Craig right there. 26-year-old guy named Craig Miller is facing more than a dozen charges. Jesus Christ. After he randomly yanked a weapon out of his pants and fired multiple shots in the streets of downtown Nashville. Just pa-pa, pa-pa, pa, 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 kind of a thing. A witness said that Craig was at an intersection waving a firearm around and shooting off rounds in different directions. Naturally, the police showed up and asked Craig, what the hell? Initially, Craig denied shooting a gun at all, but he later admitted that he just divorced his wife and fired 8 rounds as a, quote, celebration for regaining his freedom. Now, the divorce story might have been true, but don't think of Craig as some happy-go-lucky dummy who just couldn't contain his excitement. He's nothing but trash. Of course, the cops can't just walk away from this. They have to. They have to do something with Craig. It sounds like Craig was high on drugs. The gun turned out to be stolen. He kicked one of the cops in the stomach while being taken into custody, and he threatened to kill them all.
That took a turn.
Yeah.
So Craig wasn't just some dumb redneck who lost his composure. Craig sucks. And
I've never been around celebration gunfire. Has anyone here?
Just see it in the cartoons.
Jesus.
No.
You know, we were talking about crazy house parties. I guess that was the one time I was around celebratory gunfire.
That's scary.
God dang.
There's nothing better than having a bunch of drunk people around a gun. It's great.
No, yeah,
It seems
right.
like a bad idea.
Right, it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. And if we, back to crazy house parties, living up at St. Cloud State, one of our many, many, many absolutely out of control, ridiculous keg parties. I just remember there was, at my brother's place, there was a rooftop party area kind of a thing on top of the garage, and it proved very valuable for the 5 or 6 days throughout the entire year where the weather was tolerable in St. Cloud. It proved very valuable. We could go out and party on that law, whatever you want to call it, rooftop type scene, and people be walking by, we'd wave them in, come on in, $5 a glass, and we had a hell of a time up on that. So I'm leaving that area. I'm going to walk down the stairs into the house. And one of our high school buddies meets me halfway while I'm going down the stairs. He's coming up the stairs with a shotgun.
Oh.
And I remember getting down to inside the house and telling everyone inside the house, I said, hang on to your ass. Donnie just headed up the stairs with a shotgun. And sure as hell, pa-pa, pa, pa, pa. No reason. Totally stupid. He was just firing a weapon up into the air to show how hard he can party.
Wow.
Any damage to anything that you're aware of?
No, he just fired it up, into the sky. The damage was the majority of people ran like hell, and the party was over.
Oh, that sucks.
I would've
Thanks very
left.
much, Donnie. People were terrified. We can't have Donnie running around.
Dana, in St. Cloud, once you get to a certain BAC, don't they hand you car keys and a weapon?
Yeah, and
You have
drugs.
to give them your condoms and stuff like that.
Yeah, you trade in your condoms for drugs, guns, and car keys.
You guys like to do it up there, that's for sure.
It was a horny place, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the end of my stories about gunplay at house parties. We were never dialed into something like that. I mean,
yeah, thankfully I never saw anything like that.
I remember being very nervous one night, again with the St. Cloud State, but this straggler of a character ended up living with a group of my friends. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend. They needed an extra body in the house to dummy down the rent. You know how that goes. So they asked this derelict to live with them. And I didn't like this friggin' guy from the get-go. He seemed shady as hell. And he was a terrible, idiotic drunk. We learned that right away. And, a few of us that still had some brain cells left, we all kind of got together and said, let's be careful with this friggin' guy. Let's not let him too far into the circle here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There were a handful of us who thought, look, he's crazy. Just young, dumb. Yeah. You don't see through people like you do when you're a little older. A few of us felt a little funny about this guy. Well, sure as hell, one party, I don't know how the hell I ended up in this guy's bedroom, probably because I was trying to get laid and it was the only available bedroom. But I ended up taking a peek under his bed, and there was enough weaponry to start some real effing trouble And I thought, this is the last guy that needs weapons on him. In the end, we got out of it without, by the end of the year, no one was killed. But
I Drive Truck Jesus said that he had a keg bonfire back in the day. A lot of them had guns, but they weren't dumb enough to shoot him, except for one guy. He tried to shoot the ground, but he accidentally shot his small toe off, and the party was over.
Yes.
That's what you get trying to mess around.
All right. Even the dealers of deadly illegal drugs like a nice holiday theme now and again. They do. A fella down there in Alabama was arrested Monday morning. Day after Easter, if you remember. Guy was arrested Monday morning after cops allegedly discovered 176 of those fentanyl pills hidden up inside 2 colorful Easter eggs that the fella had in his car. And this guy's doing it all wrong. He's just doing it all wrong, especially when you consider his name. It always bothers me when we read about someone who was gifted a glorious name, but all they want to do with their gift is have that name splashed all over the local police report for criminal behavior. It's just a shame. The Easter egg fentanyl dildo is the latest disappointment. Jamarius Qualls.
That's pretty cool.
I thought even his middle name, Dequan, was kind of cool.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Jamarius Dequan Qualls.
Jamarius is 29 years old. He was the Easter egg guy. Jamarius Qualls was arrested on charges of drug trafficking, is that how you say it? And drug possession with intent to distribute. The cops stopped Jamarius while he was driving around town. The boys found those 176 pills I was telling you about, fentanyl, inside 2 Easter eggs. He also had a big plastic bag filled with synthetic cannabis, otherwise known as spice, don't you know?
Can't that do some damage, spice? I thought there were some stories like a long, long time ago where people were having some issues with that. You're saying yes?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
You dummy. I'll tell you this, Cubby. If I would have been handed the name Jamarius Dequan Qualls, I'd have done great things with it.
Yeah, me too.
Great things.
I'd want to be like some sort of man of substance where you're just writing some real inspirational books.
Yeah.
Or you have some sort of music career. I don't know, you can really go anything. Professional wrestler.
Oh,
I would just like a bridge or something named after me.
Going over the Qualls Bridge?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Or some waterfalls. The
what? The Qualls Falls?
Falls. Yeah. That'd be beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I hear you. By the way, I received a text message that said the only time that celebratory gunfire is safe and fun is when you're a member of El Guapo's gang. It really, and that was a big part of being in El Guapo's gang in the documentary The Three Amigos. That was a big part of their gimmick was celebratory gunfire.
They had a blast. Ammo.
Did they have? They must have had a lot of money for ammunition.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because everything that happened, they were a lot of fun. El Guapo and his gang.
I absolutely loved that movie. Mm-hmm. My wife and I once had a disagreement about its rating. Because I'd said, she mentioned it's PG. We were talking about whether or not the kids could watch it when they're little. I'm like, no, it's rated R. And she said, no, it's PG. And we looked, so she had a VHS version and I had a DVD version. Mine said rated R, hers said PG. So they must have changed it at some point.
It's weird.
I think maybe it came up before they actually had the rating system in place.
Well, no, because it was rated. One was PG, one was R. Oh. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was 1985 or 6. There was certainly a rating system. And what in the hell ever happened in the Three Amigos documentary that would lead it to be rated R?
I don't know. I was trying to remember if there was like nudity or swear words. It had been so long since I'd seen it at that point.
It's a friggin' kids movie. For Christ's sake.
Let's see. Googling it here. What does it say? I don't see.
Well, yeah, it's a kids movie.
That was such a funny movie. God, those guys are good together.
With the exception of the wildly overrated Chevy Chase.
Oh, I hate him.
What? You guys hate him?
Well,
you didn't think he was funny in that?
I don't hate him. I just think he's wildly overrated.
You didn't think he was funny in that movie?
He was okay, but
I thought he was great.
He was nothing compared to Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah, so on IMDb, it's PG.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't see why ever in a million years that movie would have been rated R. I've seen it many times and nothing happens at all. Chevy Chase is cute. He's had a couple of cute characters. I've just always thought he was...
In recent years, he's turned into just a raging a-hole.
Why do you hate him? Why do you hate him?
Just the way he acted on set in one of my favorite shows, Community. I guess he's just awful to work with and racist and just an absolute punk.
What's the guy who was the main star of...
Joel McHale?
Yeah, Joel McHale.
Yeah, he said they used to get like physical altercations on set.
And he was saying if there's going to be a movie, he's not going to do it if
he's not included. Yeah.
Well,
Joel McHale, he's pretty funny.
I like him a lot.
Do you guys watch? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting Animal Control.
No.
Yeah, I love him in that.
Yeah, he's good.
He's so great.
He's a dick. He's good.
He's such a dude.
That. All of the things that you said, Dana, that doesn't sound very good about Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I hope not all of that is true. I mean, I'm sure by that I mean I'm sure some of it is. I wish none of it was true, but it must be because enough people have said it that he's not a very nice person.
For Christ's sake, now. You know, I never in a million years, Josh, thought that we'd ever have to go ahead and discuss chess scandals on this here radio show. Chess, I said, in case you didn't follow, like the board game.
Okay, I thought you said chass.
That's why I made sure to say it twice.
Thank you.
You thought I said chass?
Yeah, I was like, is he trying to say
as
like
clearly as possible, I said chass or chess. What did I say? Trust me, I know what I said.
Wapple, give out a website.
www.
All right.
There's no way I said chess. Anyway. By the way, never saw it in person, a chessboard.
Really?
Never saw it.
Are you
I
serious?
have one at my house just
Never saw it.
sitting up.
You've never seen a chessboard in person?
No.
That's amazing.
That is kind of bizarre to me.
Why?
Because of how popular, like in
I've
school,
seen
you
a
guys
lot.
never played?
No.
Really?
No, never saw it.
Never at one of those bars that has board games or anything like that?
If I know
Never
Nick,
a Target?
he's going to a bar with board games.
Never walking through a Target?
No. Never saw it.
Do you want us to bring one in for you so you
No,
can see yourself?
no, not at all.
Have you ever seen a chessboard anywhere?
I never came anywhere near saying chess. I don't know why I'm hung up on this, but I am. By God, I am.
Yeah, I heard chass.
Yeah, you heard wrong. I never thought that scandals involving the game of chess would come up on this program, let alone multiple times. However, when effing butt plug vibrators come into the mix, so to speak, what can we do? It's too damn fun to resist. Just like a real butt plug.
Always a lot of fun.
That's something I've never seen in real life.
A butt plug?
I've seen one, but and because of this place, but I've never.
I thought you owned one because of this place.
No, I might have. Maybe I left that one behind or let somebody else grab that one.
I have not seen one.
Everybody's getting chessboards and butt plugs for Christmas this year. Then it's
wonderful.
decided.
So I mean, I've seen them on the computer. Mm-hmm. Are they all bejeweled?
No.
Or are there some just kind of basic?
Yeah, you
regular
can get a
ones?
basic.
There's some lame looking ones, but why would you get the lame looking one when you can get a bejeweled one?
I don't know.
Cubby, I can spot one from a mile away.
What do you mean by that? Just it was like if there's one in the vicinity, you'll just see it.
I'm very familiar.
I thought you meant maybe like you're looking at someone and you can go, that person's got a butt plug in.
Oh, I wish I had that skill.
We've received texts before from people saying, I'm at work right now, I've got a butt plug in.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem comfortable.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I guess, is it probably like gauges for your ear? You have to like, once you start them.
you start small and work your way up?
Yeah, and then it'll be more comfortable if you do that.
I see what you mean. I'll try and get you caught up here just in case you have no idea what chess and ass toys have to do with each other. I'll get you caught up. Says here now, the chess world is still feeling... I hate that I have to do this, but I got lazy in my editing. The chess world is still feeling the vibrations of the buzziest chess story out of the year 2022. I hate that stuff, but I got lazy. It all happened in St. Louis, Missouri. A big-time chess player was accused of cheating. And the accusations revolved around the guy tossing vibrating anal beads up into his own can. A grandmaster chess dude with the name of Magnus Carlsen withdrew from a tournament. He lost to some fella named Hans Niemann. A lawsuit was filed by Niemann against Carlsen. Carlsen was accused of keistering vibrating beads before the game, before the chess match game, whatever they call it, started. He was accused of having some dork on the other side of the room or something watch the match and then signal Carlsen in his little bottom with some kind of remote control, signaling him as to what moves Carlsen should make on the chessboard. One buzz meant this. Two buzz means that. And that case was dismissed. Some of you are familiar with that story, but just in case you weren't, there it is. That's how butt plugs and board games became married.
Now, I said this when the story first came out. I really, really hope this actually happened. Not just for the entertainment value, but for the fact a guy was accused of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What a shame if he had nothing to do with it. Now he's the butt plug chess guy.
Yeah.
Which he's always going to be,
Yep.
even if it's not true.
It's like we talked about in high school. Once like one of those rumors starts what you as a kid, you're never going to be able to shake it. It's just going to be there forever.
Yeah, you're that guy or girl.
So, I don't think the people involved in professional chess are too crazy about it, but there's no shaking this. No way. Butt plugs, I'm sure they're afraid to admit it, hesitant to admit it, the professional chess people, but butt plugs have finally made the game of chess interesting.
Yeah, it's gotten them a lot of attention.
So, a wellness company, I don't know what that means, a wellness company, by the name of We Vibe, they want in on some attention. They want in on this bit, so they're going to go ahead and offer free anal stimulation toys to all the players in next month's World Chess Championship in Toronto. Everybody who makes the tournament gonna get a free butt toy. We Vibe said in a statement that they hope to, quote, empower players to make their moves with confidence, both inside and out.
That's a fun promotion.
Well, the tournament starts today. And that Carlson dude I was telling you about, the original butt plug bad boy of competitive chess, he has already withdrawn from the tournament, so maybe his feelings are a little hurt that this story is still percolating.
God, that would suck so bad.
You're the butt plug chess player guy.
A lot of people are texting in saying this guy wouldn't need to cheat. He's the man.
Jump on him, Wapple. Jump on him.
Drag him.
This guy wouldn't need to cheat because he's the best?
Yeah, people are texting in and say there's no way he cheated.
Oh.
The guy's too good. He's been dominating for a decade. But he's still the butt plug guy, and that's not fair.
That isn't fair.
His fans are defending him.
Yeah, oh yeah. A lot of, there's a lot of folks that know.
Well, good. Good. I have no problem. I don't care one way or the other if he was wearing a butt plug.
I don't need butt plugs to win.
Oh, is this true? Stand-up comic girl She's just said that wellness company is another word for sex toy multi-level marketing.
I just looked them up. It looks like they sell a lot of toys and butt stuff. We Vibe. They sell a lot of sex toys.
Oh, I got it screwed up. It was the Neiman guy who was wearing the butt plug, not the Carlson guy.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Fair enough. I don't care.
Sorry, well, you know who does?
Sorry for those of you who are...
The Carlson guy cares.
One guy or the other was wearing a butt plug. One guy or the other's mad. It's chess. Who cares?
I don't ever want to be the butt plug guy. Ever. I mean, there's probably worse things to be.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right. I think you can make it through life without being any kind of a butt plug guy. Are you worried about such things?
Well, just that type of accusation, it can stick with you.
Yeah, I bet this guy thought he'd never be the butt plug guy.
He was me pooed. That's what he was.
That's my grandpa once told me, never become the butt plug guy. Best advice I ever got.
Well, he'd know.
All right, for me personally, I'm fairly sure the answer is no. So let me ask you folks. Have you ever knowingly taken a toilet's virginity? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Everyone says yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys live in a world with new toilets that pop up often?
We had to put one in our home when we moved in.
Yeah, we did too.
So
once.
I have.
I don't think I've ever taken a toilet's virginity. Up next here, now then, in today's Stupid News Report, a lady is all pissed off because one of the dudes doing work in her house took a Duke in her brand new toilet. Apparently she wanted to be the one to snatch the brand new toilet's virginity.
Well, you should have beat him to it. That's your fault.
How was it her fault?
She should have been on that.
She's supposed to wait outside the door, and as soon as the toilet is done, okay, she's got a life to lead.
Maybe he was just making sure it worked right.
She's gone as far as to call this incident a criminal act.
Okay.
Well, she's joking, obviously.
Oh, is she joking?
Call it the criminal act. She's being an extreme joke.
Oh, I thought she was being serious.
I've got a buddy whose child always wants to be the first person to fart in a new car.
Oh.
That's their goal.
That's their thing?
That's the life goal.
I'm so thankful I never had kids. That's just disgusting. Nadia is the name of this angry lady. Or maybe she's not that angry. She says that the worker bros ignored her instructions to use the outdoor toilet rather than drop a coiler into the brand new one that the boys bolted down in her new bathroom. And she apparently said they took my toilet's virginity. She left the boys a note after the fact. She said, "Dear tradesmen, the toilets in this house are not rightfully yours to use. We are paying for an outdoor toilet for you to use. Not only did you take the virginity of our toilet, but you continued to use it."
We had some work done in our house. It was a while, unfortunately, a lot of repairs. And there was one particular guy, he pooped every single day, and I think it was to taunt me. Just because he knows that that's not going to happen for me ever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
never going to be an everyday guy. Not anymore.
Now, you know what it sounds like to me, Josh, as I close out the story? It sounds to me like one of the fellas, at least one of the fellas, dropped wolf bait in the new toilet and didn't flush.
Oh.
Don't do that.
That's what it sounds like to me. I can't.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah,
it's common decency. You got to flush.
Well, that changes everything. I'm all right with it. I don't. Any damn buddy can spray my toilet, but if you don't flush, you're no better than an animal. An animal.
Why does that bother people? Like, if she's legitimately upset, why would that? Not the flushing thing, but just the using. If somebody's got to go to the bathroom, they got to go. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Because
they're nice enough to work on your house or whatever the situation.
She's insane, I would imagine.
I let a delivery driver come and use my bathroom once. You got to go, you got to go.
Oh, really? Just said, hey, it's an emergency?
Yeah, he's like, hey, man, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, yeah, come on, man.
See, I feel awful because I'd have to say no because of, like, murder shows and such.
Dana?
Oh, to let a stranger in?
Yeah, I'd be like, man, you gotta go somewhere else.
Dana.
Yeah.
He masturbated in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Into your hand soap.
And he also unlocked your basement window so he could get in whenever he wants. Ashley, that's a good point. I guess I kind of forgot. I've watched enough Dateline where I should know you shouldn't let a stranger in your home. But I'd fall for that if the Amazon guy or whoever is like, hey, I really got to go. I would definitely let him in.
That's how it happens.
I was home alone, Ashley, but it did cross my mind. Like, if my wife at the time was here, I probably wouldn't let the guy in.
I'm going to let the guy in the house, but I'm going to sit in the bathroom while he does it, just to make sure nothing shady goes on.
Keep your hands up at all times.
I'm going to sit on the sink and watch his every move.
Yeah, if you masturbate, at least I'm going to make it awkward. Boss lady Sheeza said one of the requirements her husband has when someone asks him to help move is that he is the first one to poop in the new toilet. Don't give me any money. I just want to do this. Big bearded Jared said he put in a new toilet Saturday, crushed it that afternoon.
Yeah, boy.
Do I have time for one more, Josh?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be running a little late, but it's fun.
We got this theme going here, bodily fluids. We might as well wrap it up. If I left this until tomorrow, it would be awkward, and then people would say, well, just yesterday you were talking, now you're talking about it again, so we'll throw this one into the mix. An airline pilot trying to bring folks from effing Germany to California. He had to go ahead and turn the plane all the way around and go back to Germany because one of the toilets on board broke. And there was urine and soft, cold, liquefied human feces flowing into the airplane's cabin.
Oh, soft, cold.
What? It was soft to the touch and it was ice cold.
But there's a crispy layer of frost on the outside.
Oh, no.
But once you broke through that, very soft.
It's like a Canterbury egg.
Why'd you have to make it gross?
Sorry.
It was flowing into the cabin, where the pilots sit and they steer the airplane around. They were already a couple hours into the plane ride when the piss-nami came seeping into the pilot's cabin. What they call here a foul smell then quickly took over the rest of the airplane. New guy in the corner is puking his guts out. The crew, I guess, made a couple of phone calls to the ground, to technicians, to see if they could offer up some help, but it was a lost cause. Everyone involved is still trying to figure out what went wrong and who they can dump the blame on. All passengers were put in hotels overnight and flown out the following day. It just came pouring out.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. I think I'd still just let's just get to where we're going. I'll plug my nose or whatever, but but I guess not seeing it, maybe it's a different story.
Oh, they had a ways to go, Cubby.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd power through, but...
Oh, you think you could power through 9-10 hours of that?
I hate traveling so much that I wouldn't want to go through the whole thing again.
I get it.
I'd want to get it over with, but I mean, there's a limit there.
I said, I wasn't on it, so maybe it's different, but just right now, I'm saying.
They were 2 hours out of Germany, and we're going all the way to friggin' California. Oh, you'd have to be one tough sumbitch to handle that.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hi, my name's Alfred D'Elia. At home, they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Hi, my name's Alfred D'Elia. At home, they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers. They don't even call me that anymore. I'm not that big.
I remember that kid. Now he's a high school student.
Yeah, he's hitting dingers still.
He sure is.
As a high school student. I loved Big Al. That was so cute.
Time passes way too fast.
2018 is when we were introduced to Big Al.
Oh, my gosh.
Seems a lot longer ago than that.
It does.
What was wrong with his voice back when he was 12?
I don't know.
He sounded like, who's that actor who's in all the mob movies? I need you to do something for me, kind of a thing. It doesn't matter. He's in all the De Niro movies. Big Al is now a high school kid. What do we got to cover here real quick? The Pigs won last night over the Ottawa Senators by a goal. It says here that keeps their faint playoff hopes alive. Tomorrow night they'll play Calgary. No, not Calgary. Colorado is what I meant to say. We got a Pigs update coming up around 8 o'clock in the morning, I think, something like that. By damn, if the Wolves didn't beat the Houston Rockets, it was an interesting game. Anthony Edwards looked as if something was really wrong with him for about the first 3 quarters. Next thing you know, he's hanging from the rim doing his thing. They got another game tonight against Toronto, the Twins. Can't get the bats going. And they lost to Milwaukee yesterday. They'll play again today at noon. And then, of course, the home opener is on the way. We got plenty to talk about with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder coming up in a half hour. Don't go anywhere. Josh's News is coming up next.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
I'm expecting my second child, which is very, very amazing.
Congratulations.
To say. Feels
We're
that
all
way.
with child.
You can say she's pregnant, she's knocked up, anything except with child.
Oh, I love with child. I'm going to be saying it all the time.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yes.
6 feet. I'm with child.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Instead of an adult coming in and helping the situation, she fires back with the same kind of bullying tactics that she doesn't want her to do.
I would address it with the adults in the situation, the other parent, the teachers, the community. I don't think appropriate to address it towards a child.
A Florida mom inserted herself into a preteen spat when she allegedly sent threatening and profanity-laden message to a girl who had problems with her daughter. The Palm County Sheriff's Office began investigating in late January when the mother of an 11-year-old girl contacted law enforcement about a series of messages sent over TikTok to her daughter by the mom of a classmate at her middle school. The mother said her daughter and another girl had problems with each other. While the two girls had apparently ironed their issues out through mediators at school, the mother of the other girl apparently couldn't move on. Deputies reviewed the messages sent by the mother, later identified as 28-year-old Paula LaSalle a few days prior. The first one started with a wave emoji and allegedly said, "Wake up, little girl. If you want problems, you got them. F your mama and you got a dad. So yeah, B, F with my daughter one more time, and I promise you, your mom and anybody that wants to get the A whooped, let me know because I'll go to your home. Don't play with her."
Oh, goodness.
No punctuation. No punctuation. A lot of misspellings.
Commas are nice.
Yeah, I could have used one. I don't have the lung capacity I used. Several more messages of the same tone followed. LaSalle also gave the girl her address and phone number and suggested they meet up to fight.
Stop on by, bitch.
Yes, she challenged an 11-year-old girl to a fight. Another message allegedly said, "I'ma kill you, ho," LMAO. Even better, her husband also sent messages to the girl. Deputies tied the TikTok account sending the messages to LaSalle, who was arrested Friday. At the time of this story being published yesterday, the husband had not yet been charged.
Yeah, this can happen. It's strange. Very, very strange, but true. I know a mother who is and has been dialed into their children's social lives from the word go. As soon as those kids walk in the door, she wants to know everything who said, "Oh, she didn't say that," and she's dating him. Oh my God. Mom sitting right there having those conversations with their 12, 15, 16, year old kid. It's effing crazy.
It's a little weird.
And then they'll bring it a little weird, and then they'll bring it up around other adults as if it's something for us adults to talk about.
Oh my gosh, did you hear that? Becky broke up with her boyfriend?
I'm not kidding you. Why? Who cares?
Oh.
My parents wouldn't have given half a pump if I had one friend. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they would have gotten involved in that. You don't got any friends? Maybe you're being a dick. You know what I mean?
An Alabama woman's in custody after cops found more than 4 pounds of cocaine in the backpack of a 3-year-old in her home, among other discoveries. Deputies with the Mobile County Sheriff's Office got a tip 35-year-old Tierra Hill was stashing illegal drugs in her home, so they shadowed her after she left her residence. Inside her vehicle was about 3.3 pounds of coke, a small amount of pot, and a handgun. That was nothing, however, compared to what they say they found inside her house. There were 4 unattended children, ages 3 to 15, in the residence, as well as 2 more handguns they found, more drugs as well. About 4.4 pounds of coke they found in the 3-year-old's blue backpack, which the youngster was wearing at the time. Oh, my goodness. Another 2+ pounds of cocaine were found in another backpack, along with firearms. It's safe to say the 3-year-old probably didn't put the drugs in his own backpack, Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch said. He also dismissed the assertion that the woman simply made a poor decision.
I think she made a deliberate decision to go ride around with substantial amounts of drugs and a firearm in her car and leave her children home unattended with even more cocaine and more guns. So that's a deliberate action. That's not a poor decision.
As you can imagine, she is facing a crap ton of charges.
Oh, man.
Talk about bad luck. 2 people out walking were seriously injured Monday morning when a small private plane hit them after crashing into a walking path. This happened in Muncie, Indiana.
Somebody got hit by a plane.
Yeah, a couple. During a press conference, the Delaware County Sheriff's Department said just before 10:30 a.m., 2 of the victims were out walking a trail located near the Muncie airport when a single-engine Piper aircraft fell out of the sky and crashed while en route to the Muncie airport.
Out doing some exercise and going for a walk, and next thing you know, they're being struck by a plane. So it's very unfortunate. We're praying for the best for everyone involved.
The pilot, who officials say was also seriously injured, was reported to be the only person on board the plane. An airport spokesperson said the pilot, who is not local to Muncie, passed on the first landing and was coming back around when they crashed.
There was no communication of an emergency from the aircraft. The aircraft was en route from Bloomington and was landing on runway 14. At some point, he decided he was going to circle back and basically missed approach, circle back, and this is what happened.
Delaware County Sheriff Tony Skinner said it's unclear what caused the plane to crash, and the National Transportation Safety Board and FAA are investigating. Meanwhile, a large 2-pound object that crashed through a man's Florida roof last month is being analyzed by NASA. They think it might have came from the International Space Station.
Sweet. Could it possibly be a big old chunk of poopy?
Could be some dookie. It's being reported the U.S. Space Command recorded the re-entry of a piece of debris from the International Space Station around the same time over the Gulf of Mexico, with a trajectory is how the word is pronounced, taking it towards southwest Florida, so it might be from that space station.
He says, hey, Cubby, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Next time you're out for a walk with the wife, keep an eye on the sky, will you?
Yeah, you have to do with a helmet.
Yeah.
Walk around with a helmet on.
I feel like you'd see the plane or maybe hear it coming.
While skateboarding isn't a crime, hitting a cop over the head with one definitely is, as a California man found out. A police officer had to go to the hospital with serious injuries after he was assaulted by a skateboard. The Carlsbad officer was driving in a marked patrol car underneath a freeway 11:15 p.m. Friday when a rock hit and damaged his windshield and destroyed the spotlight. The officer pulled into a parking lot to inspect the damage and call his supervisor. While they were inspecting the damage to the squad, the suspected thrasher, 32-year-old Kyle McCord, ran up behind the officer without warning or provocation and hit him in the head with the skateboard.
A 32-year-old riding around town on a skateboard?
It's California.
He's so cool.
Detectives are investigating whether the incident was accidental or intentional and are working to determine if McCord was the same person that threw the rock.
God.
That's a good point. It's California.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say.
A West Jordan, Utah man is facing charges after allegedly shooting his best friend while trying to be funny, quote unquote. 29-year-old Anthony Sanchez reportedly told police he and his 27-year-old friend Dylan were watching TV Tuesday, March 26th, when Sanchez did something funny enough for Dylan to pull out his phone and start recording, he said. Sanchez said he pulled his gun out to be funny, not knowing it was loaded. Police say he pointed the loaded firearm at his friend and pulled the trigger, shooting him in the chest. Sanchez reportedly called 911 screaming he accidentally shot someone. According to the booking affidavit, Sanchez further said that he couldn't believe he'd shot his best friend. First responders reportedly found drug paraphernalia nearby where the gun was found, so Sanchez police alleged that Sanchez was dirty. Sanchez admitted to having used cocaine the night before, but denied having used drugs the day of the shooting.
That's no fun when you shoot. Did he kill his friend?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, man.
And the dude was high on coke, maybe.
Well, yeah, he claims he wasn't, but right, they found paraphernalia at least. They'll be testing it.
You used a cool-ass young person's term there, Josh. Were you even aware of that?
Which one?
When you said he was dirty. Is that a new term for when you're on drugs?
Well, no, it was a subtle Dirty Sanchez reference.
Oh,
so it's like a double. I knew they say you're riding dirty if you got drugs.
That went somewheres.
Well, the goal was maybe just one or two people to get it.
Yeah.
Maybe text it.
That's a good one.
A produce wholesaler in South Florida allegedly hired a hitman to take out a business rival, but the killer was actually a federal agent, as they seem to be. A confidential informant approached the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms to say that Mark Graham Cashman asked if they would kill the owner of a competing business. The informant told Cashman that they wouldn't do it, but knew someone who would. That informant went to the cops. The informant and an undercover ATF agent met with Cashman February 29th. The agent said that Cashman told him he had a big problem, saying his intended target had taken over $1 million and a business worth $3 million from him. He said the business rival had put him and his family on the streets, causing them to lose their house. He told the agent he was willing to do whatever had to be done and wanted something easy like an injection, investigators allege. When the undercover agent asked him directly if he wanted the rival dead, he said, "I don't give an F." The agent advised that once he was committed, there's no going back, and Cashman said, "No problem," multiple times. Once a price was agreed upon, he was later arrested. Police in Burlington, Vermont, say its residents are finding hidden air tags and other GPS tracking devices on vehicles returning from Montreal. The Burlington Police Department said they received separate reports in about a month from residents who discovered the devices on their vehicles.
It'll stick to metal. It could be hidden behind a license plate. It could be hidden in the trailer hitch receiver or even in a gas tank cap area.
The force said the technology is allegedly being placed there by criminals and is asking anyone who notices a suspicious device on their vehicle to call police.
iPhone users, if you get a notification saying that there's an AirTag near you, what you can do is you can use the location service of your phone to pinpoint the proximity of the AirTag, and then once you have that AirTag, you can disable it. If there's one of these on your vehicle, I recommend that you call your local police department and the officers will come seize it.
The warning comes as police forces across Canada are battling rising levels of auto theft, with criminals using increasingly quick and sophisticated methods to track and steal desirable vehicles. Toronto police and others have warned would-be car thieves are using devices such as Apple AirTags to mark and track vehicles to be stolen later.
One time when I was at the mall shopping, and when I left, I had like the same kind of notification on my phone. It like said something weird like about detecting an AirTag, and I ripped my car apart because I thought for sure something creepy happened like that, but I never found anything. So I guess I might be being followed for like the last year and a half.
Oh, man.
They're really taking their time.
That's a long play there.
Trillions of cicadas, last seen when Thomas Jefferson was president, are swarming the U.S. for the first time in over 200 years this spring.
It's like an entire alien species living underneath our feet, and then some prime number of years they come out to say hello.
Not since 221 years ago, 2 broods of cicadas will rise from the ground at the same time.
This year we're going to get 2 broods that are going to emerge at the same time. We're going to get trillions of these amazing living organisms come out of the earth.
As I mentioned,
that guy's pumped about it.
Oh, he's super psyched. Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be gross.
As I mentioned, it hasn't happened since Thomas Jefferson was president, and it isn't expected to happen again until 2244. The 1 to 2 inch long bugs possess sturdy bodies, bulging compounded red eyes, huge wangs, and gross wings with a 3-inch wingspan. But the Environmental Protection Agency said cicadas are not harmful to humans, pets, household gardens, or crops. In fact, they said they're a valuable food source for birds and mammals. Dana uses them as an aphrodisiac.
Sure do.
And cicadas can even aerate lawns and improve water filtration into the ground while they add nutrients to the soil as they decompose. But they're still very gross.
So they're headed our way?
Not here in Minnesota, but they're going to be taking over the world soon enough. Millions, they say.
You just walk around and it's just crunching underneath your feet.
And loud.
Barf.
Oh, I'll bet that is loud.
Crunch.
And the huge wangs.
Yeah.
Wangs.
Giant for a bug. The now traditional early taste of Minnesota State Fair is coming back for a 4th year. As organizers,
They're still doing that bit?
Yep.
It's so fun.
I do
love
like
it.
it. I like it too.
I did it the first time around.
Or the drive-through one?
Yeah, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You can walk around now. As organizers announced yesterday, the kickoff to summer at the fair will be held May 23rd through 26th at the fairgrounds. There will be events. It's the event's 4th year of offering popular vendors and entertainment from the Great Minnesota Get Together. Each day, the kickoff will feature musical acts and other entertainment as well. Tickets for the event go on sale Friday at 10 on the fair's website. This year's Minnesota State Fair itself will run from August 22nd through September 2nd. In addition, Valley Scare is coming back this Halloween.
We really wanted to create a brand new experience for families for Halloween that includes something for everyone. So we have 4 incredible lands here that include Ickyville. We have lots of entertainment. We've got crafts to do, games to play, and just a lot of fun.
Starting in September, the Shakopee theme park offers 6 immersive haunted mazes. 3 of them are new. 3 redesigned frightening scare zones, and the all Erie Entertainment Halloween-themed food and drinks that you can handle.
You can come and get one of our alcoholic blood bags. So this is A positive. This is a vodka base with pineapple juice, cranberry, and grenadine.
Ashley, you're an alcoholic blood bag. The event, which was last held in 2021, will be held on select Fridays and Saturdays from September 21st through October 26th. I've yet to go to Valley Scare.
I had a really good time when I went.
I've heard it's fun.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part was probably going into the bathroom, and then there was like actors in the bathroom.
Oh,
that was fun.
That was the best part. That sounds disappointing.
I
loved going to the bathroom.
I just
there.
remember that because walking in, I was like, oh, I bet they're just going to be doing their thing. They're not going to be in scene. And they still were. They were still being creepy in the bathroom.
Speaking of creepy, American Horror Story returns tonight on FX.
Oh, I can't handle that one.
And then on Apple TV Plus, the 2nd season premiere of Loot.
Nice.
Birthdays today. Former Viking Jared Allen, who competed in the 2024 United States Men's Curling Championship earlier this year, turns 42. Former Skid Row frontman Sebastian Bach, 56.
Oh, my God.
The great Eddie Murphy, 63. We were sorry to hear earlier that camo fisherman Jesus and his family, they had to put down their oldest puppy, Cammy, yesterday. Our best to you guys. I'm sure it's a tough week. Good luck to ex-Hotel Sheezus having surgery this morning, and she's a little nervous about it. She wanted to shout out the newest member of the Brotherhood as well, her nephew Mason, who was born yesterday. Get well soon to Rug-Burnt Nipples Sheezus, recovering from a couple of recent surgeries. That's from Blacktop Mojo Mofo Jesus. Grand Marais Jesus text in a nice shout out to his beautiful wife Mongolian Jesus. Renegade Bagger Jesus texts a happy birthday to his wife Peggy. Happy birthday to Sasha from her crazy brother Jesus. Cheese Machine Jesus and her two sidekicks wanted to wish a happy 27th to Ball Bag Jesus. And happy birthday to I like my coffee like I like my women, big ass boobies Jesus. From Coffee Blacker Than My Heart, Cold Hands, Hot Ass Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Coming up next, we'll talk
They
with
make it
Carol
difficult
Evans.
for me sometimes. I'm
They're
sorry to
becoming
interrupt.
so elaborate.
I know.
Coming up next, we'll talk with Carol Evans, Randy Shaver, and Brad Ryder.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Please welcome people's sexiest man alive, Mr.
Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Now, the big... It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan, another farting Dan Orlovsky situation.
Danny Dumps. What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
No, your butt was just talking. We heard it. Your butt just farted into the phone again like you in Monday Night Football. We heard your fart, brother. We heard you fart.
I did not fart.
I've had enough of that bit.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's got to be.
I'm so tired of this. Did add in famous person? Did they fart on television? No, they didn't. The latest was some guy on some television show.
That was the Pat McAfee podcast.
It's never a fart, is it, Josh?
Well, I think they're perpetuating a bit, personally. He was accused of doing that on, I think it was Monday Night Football. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so they brought it back, I think.
Tired of the clickbait. It's never a fart. Wake me up when an actual fart happens on live television. Because I'll be all in on that. I'll celebrate that with the rest of you. But I'm tired of this clickbait. It never is the legit thing.
I don't know if he wants his name out there, but do you remember there was one here locally, a weather guy, who the internet was blowing up saying he farted. I think there was tornadoes or something going on.
Oh, no.
And so he was on the air for a long time.
I remember this,
Super nice guy. And it got to the point where so many people were talking about it. He came on the air with us and explained it was his shoes. His shoes rubbed together. And I believe him. The way he was talking, he seemed genuine, and he kind of seemed exhausted. Like, yeah, I really have to come out and say that I didn't fart on the air.
What grade are we in over here? We got the ass man and the lonely boy here hanging on the line. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, no gas.
Comfortable.
That's good.
Got rid of all that before I came on.
Yep.
Josh told us earlier it's World Party Day. Kind of a drag that it fell on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Kind of a drag that it fell on Wednesday.
Doesn't feel like World Party.
No, it doesn't.
No.
I said earlier, if the World Party Day people want to get some steam, want to get some momentum, they should try and make sure it doesn't fall on a Wednesday. Which guys were you? And we got into a conversation about our house party days when you're younger people having the big keggers, man, beer parties. Which guys were you during your house party days? Were you the guy who was always making out in the corner with some foxy lady? Were you the chug-a-lug, go, go, go type of, and you're vomiting in the corner, chugging beer? Were you in the fist fights? Were you jumping off the roof? Were you crying in the corner about your ex-girlfriend?
I don't think I was any of those.
I wasn't any of them.
Well, then who were you?
I was the normal guy socializing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which one were you?
I knew you guys would add a lot of fun to the conversation.
Which one were you?
Probably depends on the night.
I was going to say, depending on the night or what?
Well, I certainly wasn't jumping off any roofs. That wasn't my thing. I didn't need that level of attention. I certainly hung out with some guys who were the party stuntmen. They had to do something in order to be talked about the following day. Not me. Making out with a foxy lady? It happened once in a while, but that certainly wasn't a regular thing.
During the course of the night, that might be the same guy doing all those things.
Sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the range of somebody changing.
Yeah.
Chugging beers? I never got into that movement either. I never had to be in that circle of guys that had to do the beer bong and the shotgunning.
Yeah.
I was content to drink my beer at a normal pace. I certainly took a shot at the chugging and the shotgunning, but that did not settle well with me.
March Madness, Jesus said at certain points in his life, he's been all those people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
The best are the ones that in certain parts of one single night have been all those people, like we were saying. I've seen that on Cops, too.
Yeah.
Where they're polite, then they're rude, then polite again, then they're crying.
Crying in the corner? No, that was never me. Fist fights? I guess if we're just picking out of the selections that I gave you, unfortunately, I guess, we had a lot of fist fights. And normally I couldn't help it because my twin brother always wanted to fight me. So out of those choices, I guess that would be it.
Did you have it coming in those, or is it just he was just that angry?
No, he was just that angry. I was telling the story earlier about when my brother knocked me out and I went all the way down a flight of stairs on my back, completely asleep. That's the way to go down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, you got to where you wanted to go.
Be asleep. Had I been awake for that fall, it would have hurt like hell. But I snored right through the whole thing.
I played in a summer rec softball league one summer up in Bebop in Blaine.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
That place, it seemed like every time we went up there after a game we went in there was a fight in that bar.
Yeah.
There's certain establishments like that, for sure.
What about, people are texting, and what about the naked guy? We didn't have that problem at our beer
Oh,
party.
yeah. In high school, we had a naked guy.
We never had that problem.
We had a naked guy and a topless girl.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Did
we
they
never
get
had
together?
Are they friends?
I think they actually
Did they know each other?
Yeah, they was all in the same circle of friends, but there's this one girl that she would always take her top off after she was drinking. Just walk
I've
around.
never seen that one.
No, we didn't have naked guys.
I thought you were the naked guy, Dana, or maybe it was a friend of yours that was the naked guy.
Yeah, I've had friends that are naked guys. I've never myself been the naked guy.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing. Thankfully, the naked guy wasn't a thing when we were in our house party
Streaking and going to the quad.
Yeah, well, that was you. You're a 70s guy, Randy.
Yeah.
Did you guys also have that one guy who always, like, when it got to that time of the night, would suggest either streaking or skinny dipping?
No.
There was always that one guy, and I'm picturing him in my head right now. His idea every time everyone seemed nice and full of booze was, hey, how about we go skinny dipping?
There was no place to do that in Iowa, so
Oh, true.
I mean, I guess it came up when we were at lakes, but no, that was never a regular conversation. I just thought of who maybe I was more than anything, and I piss people off when playing this role, but I also enjoyed pissing people off. I was the guy who had to be in control of the music.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of buddies like that.
I could not stand to be at a real big keg party and not have the right music, in my mind, the right music playing. So I would piss people off by completely taking over their stereo. I'm not going to sit at a full-on, all-out keg party and listen to, Pearl Jam. I'm not going to do it. So I would go to their bedroom or wherever, and I would take over the stereo.
Fraud prevention, Jesus said he was the guy who wasn't invited.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, that sucks.
So he can't relate.
No, you're our buddy. If we had one, you'd be invited.
Well, boys, the Twins, they just couldn't get the bats going for jack squat yesterday, could they?
Could not, no.
Yesterday in Milwaukee, the Brewers won 3-2. Yes, Randy.
Unfortunately, Louis Varland did not have the greatest outing either. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the greatest outing.
No, it was far from terrible. I mean, you certainly want your starter to go more than 4.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, when he left, what was the score? 2-0?
It was 2-1.
2-1.
Or 3-1.
Okay. Well, your starter gave up 3 runs.
Yeah.
You should be pretty content with that.
I mean, it's a reasonable deficit to overcome at 3-1, but
3 hits isn't usually going to get it done.
No.
Yeah, how many runs did Bailey Ober let in the other day?
He got
that was more than 3, right?
103.
He could have been him.
So the Brewers now have opened their season with 4 straight wins for the first time in 15, 16 years.
Yeah, so have the Tigers.
Uh-oh.
Is the race over for the Central?
Yeah. And so have the Pirates. Remember me climbing all over the Pirates bandwagon last year?
Are you going to swing from their jock again this year?
They're off to even a better start this year. And, of course, then they just fizzled terribly.
Last year, Randy was ready to start singing We Are Family on the radio when the Pittsburgh Pirates got off to a hot start, and then they laid a giant turd.
Yeah, they just completely.
Well, maybe you were just a year ahead of time. Maybe you were just
maybe so.
Every team in that division's over 500, I think.
In the Central, NL Central, yeah.
You're just a man ahead of your time, like last year during the NCAA men's basketball tournament when I picked Purdue to win the entire thing. I was ahead of myself.
Sure.
They got beat in the opening round. Now they're in the Final Four. So Matt Wallner, sack fly. Christian Vasquez, sack fly. And that was it for runs. They'll play again today at noon against Milwaukee. And it's a couple of guys starting on the bump. Comeback stories, I guess you'd say. The Brewers are going to throw a fella by the name of Joe Ross out there. He has not made an appearance since 20+21. Chris Paddock for the Twins makes his first start since May of 2022. I know he did a little bit of bullpen work last year in the playoffs, didn't he? But this is his first start.
He came back really late last year. Yeah.
First start in a long time. Just get the bats going. It'll come. They're 2-2 now.
Right. So you're facing a number 5 starter today, so let's go.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Both teams are.
Yeah.
So.
Byron Buxton was nearly killed by a speeding bratwurst during yesterday's ball game.
I saw that.
Come on,
now
man.
The first sausage race of the year. Look out, Byron! The bratwurst almost took out the center fielder.
Yeah.
With his injury history, that would have been something if he would have gotten taken out by that.
I was thinking that too. Oh, how much crap would he get?
He needs to be careful. Stressing me out.
I just wish it was a movie because, in the movie, the baseball player retaliated and just beat the crap out of the sausage.
Yeah.
So
seen Byron just spear the pierogi.
So I'll be damned. They fired up that sausage race.
Those are fun.
Oh, yeah. Before the bottom half of the 6th inning, Buck's coming out the dugout to run out to center field, and he damn near got run over.
I tell you what,
as the race went speeding by.
You got to give the schedule maker an F on this one.
Oh, yeah.
To have the Twins and the Brewers play each other this early in the season in the middle of the week in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, we bitched about this a few weeks ago. It should always be on the weekends.
Right.
I think what I said the last time we had this conversation was, I can effing guarantee you that the Yankees and Red Sox don't play too many midweek series, do they? Do they?
Let us play Miami or,
right.
somebody in Tampa Bay in the afternoon in the middle of the week when nobody cares,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sucks. Noon today. I thank God Buxton didn't get wienered.
Yes. That would have been terrible. I bet you that happened to you in a party or two.
Well, he has mentioned it happened to him once.
Yep. Got myself wienered?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't so much a party as it was a orgy. I was going to say gangbang, but it wasn't a gangbang because there was it was an orgy is what it was. Yeah, I got wienered.
So did he. I mean, it was a mutual wiener.
Yeah.
Dual wienering.
Head-on collision. All right. I don't know. Do you want to get into this? I mean, seeing how the baseball season is up and running, someone had to cut loose with another best baseball movies list. Do you want to get involved?
God, I'm tired of it.
All right, forget it. Timberwolves last night.
Yes.
Beat the Houston Rockets. Didn't have the easiest time doing it.
Shouldn't have the easiest time. The Rockets been playing pretty well.
No, they're very good. They're very good.
And they're young. I mean, this Rockets team has a chance, in a year or two, depending on what they add for pieces, could be pretty good. Between Jabari Smith and Jalen Green, they've got an Amen Thompson. They've got some guys to build around for sure.
Anthony Edwards had a weird night. He's
had a couple of weird nights shooting the three for sure.
I read something the other day that says he's just cooked. He's exhausted.
Well, you get the. I mean, I know they're playing for something yet because they are,
right.
But you get the sense they are looking ahead a little bit, and you can't blame them. I mean,
what do you mean by that?
Well, there's 7 games left in the regular season. They're looking ahead to a couple weeks from now.
I wish they probably wish there was an opportunity to rest some guys.
Yeah,
I think that they probably wish they were in a position where it didn't matter if they won or lost. That would change their position in the standings, and that's happened in the past.
I think if we get down to the final maybe game and things have been determined, they will rest a lot of people, obviously, those last game or two.
That's interesting because the same thing crossed my mind. I read this article that said Anthony Edwards is just cooked. I mean, I know he's, 22, 23, but he's busting his ass.
Played a lot of minutes.
He could use a game off is what this article was saying. But yet, like Brad was just saying, Randy was just saying, they're not in a position to where they want to rest their star players because they're scrapping for that number 1 seed. At any rate, he was off most of the night. Shot a lot of free throws. A lot of his points came from the free throw line, but he had a couple of big dunks and a big steal late in the game. He got his energy eventually, but yeah, his 3-point shot is not looking good these days. He looks a little weary. But Naz Reid was there. Naz had a great game.
Yep. Naz Reid continues to make a strong case for 6th man of the year.
That would be a beautiful thing.
I think that he is, I was just reading this morning with Monk injured for Sacramento, who seemed to have like the inside track on being the 6th man of the year. With him out now for the next month, people are looking at Naz Reid as that person that could end up winning that Havlicek Award. So,
well, the big game here is next Wednesday. They got a few between now and then, but they go to Denver again.
Yes.
If they don't win, if they say they don't win that game and they fall a couple games back at Denver, then I think you're going to see some rested players those last 2 games.
That would make sense, wouldn't it, Brad? Right.
Yeah, and if they win that game, then they're probably all in on trying to get the top seeds.
Well, they also got Phoenix twice in the next week and a half, too, and Phoenix very well could be the team they open the playoffs with.
Right.
So,
how do you call it? The Toronto Raptors and Wolves play tonight. So it's a back-to-back deal. You want to beat Toronto. You want to beat the teams like Toronto, although it won't be easy, I'm sure, on a back-to-back kind of a swing. But I'll tell you what, I love the idea of Naz Reid winning that 6-man award for the season. I imagine they'll present it to him at one of the playoff games or something, right? When Naz Reid hoists that trophy up over his head in front of that home crowd, that place is going to go friggin' buck wild.
It makes it a better case when your team is in the position the Wolves are right now, too. Because I think, adds some legitimacy to Naz's efforts that because of his efforts, not only is he having a great year, but so is the team. They're benefiting from what he's doing. So,
you're welcome, by the way, for Naz Reid. You're welcome.
You discovered him.
I've only gotten a couple congratulatory texts. I deserve more for discovering Naz Reid. Sorry, I've been laughing a little bit off air or on the side is how I should say that. Only pumps, what does he do? Only poops while punched in. Jesus texted in. He reminded me of another time that I got wienered. That night at the North Star game with the guy, the sweatpants boner that almost stabbed me at the North Stars game. Yeah. I almost had an eye taken out when I was a little kid at a North Star game by a man sitting behind me with a sweatpants boner. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. Last night's ball game between the Denver Nuggets and the San Antonio Spurs. Basketball fans were touching themselves over the stat lines for Wembanyama?
Yes.
And Nikola Jokic. So Wembanyama almost messed around and got a quadruple-double.
God, the guy's...
He's overrated. Yeah, he scored 23 points, 15 rebounds, 9 block shots, 8 steals. No, 8 assists and a steal. So he almost messed around and got... I'm sorry, did I say quadruple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he almost messed around and got a triple-double.
But no, a quadruple-double.
Yeah, okay, both.
I mean,
we can say both. Jokic had 42 points, 16 rebounds. Jesus Christ.
Jokic said he was just tired of the guy swatting his shots away.
Was he blocking a lot? Was Wembanyama blocking
a lot? Blocking a few of Jokic's shots, yeah.
Yeah, those effing guys.
Wembanyama took 29 shots last night. Jokic took 32. That's
we
that's
know
a lot of shots between centers in the NBA.
Yeah. We know who's getting the basketball on those two clubs. Now, they say here that the Iowegian Louisiana State women's basketball game a couple nights ago, the most watched women's college basketball game ever. There are still more records that Caitlin Clark could break in the Final Four, which starts this week. Do they run that the same time as the men's?
Different days, but Friday, Sunday.
Right. Okay, Friday, Sunday. And who do the Iowegians play?
UConn. So you're going to see that viewership thing broken on Friday night, I think.
Paige Beckers.
I know yesterday you mentioned this Beckers. I couldn't remember if they played head-to-head. Right. Oh, yeah, I remember, because I predicted Caitlin Clark will not score a single point.
That's right.
Paige Beckers, and I'll be watching this. I'll be rooting for the local gal.
The UConn coach had a great comment after either a pregame or postgame of this next game coming up, and he said something to the effect that Caitlin Clark, he's taking back his comment that Paige Beckers is the best player in the country. He's saying Caitlin Clark is, just so that she won't go off and score 50 on him.
Oh,
I see. Compliment her, and maybe she'll take it a little easy on you.
Yeah.
Or you mentioned 50
it's gonna be
points.
a great matchup. I hope they guard each other. That would be fantastic.
That 50 points that just came out of your yapper, that might come into play here in our conversation. So here are a couple of records that Caitlin Clark could break in the Final Four. There's actually 5 more, but some of them are boring, like scoring percentage, and who cares about...
By the way,
yes, Randy Shaver.
By the way, isn't it amazing that we're sitting here talking about college women's basketball as opposed to the men's tournament at this point in the year?
It's pretty cool.
Lots
It's
has
pretty
changed.
Cool. It's pretty cool.
All right, here we go. She could pay... No, what's her name again? Caitlin Clark. She's 40 points shy of breaking the record for the most points in D1 women's tournament history. Okay, so back in
who holds that?
1999, a gal named Shamik Holdsclaw,
Tennessee,
scored 479 points in that tournament. If what's her name, Caitlin Clark, scores 40,
she could get that.
And she'll score if they play 2 games, right?
If they lose the first game.
Right. Yeah. If they make the title game, she'll easily score 40.
She should.
With the exception of course, Friday night's game. She could break the record for most threes in an NCAA tournament game. Now, she had 9 in the last game. The record is 10. But Caitlin Clark has never made 10 threes in a game. But, of course, it's possible. And what was the final? Most points. Here's what you were throwing at us, Randy Shaver. The record for most points scored in a women's NCAA tournament game is 50. Back in 1982, a gal that went to school at Drake. Isn't that an Iowegian school?
Yeah. It is in Des Moines.
Okay. A gal that went to school at Drake, Lori Bauman, scored 50 points in a 1982 women's NCAA tournament game. She's held that record ever since. So the article writers are saying, of course, Caitlin Clark is capable of scoring over 50 points. Now, this Lori Bauman gal, keep in mind that she scored 50 in a stinking tournament game before there was a 3-point line.
Yes.
F me running.
Part of the reason we're talking about this is something we've talked about before. We're talking about the women and not the men because of the transfer portal. The identity, you have the star power with the women's game where these ladies have played 3-4 years out of school. You don't know who's on some of these teams because of they've transferred in this year. On the guy side,
Yeah. Golden Gopher Women's Basketball Club, they beat Wyoming the other night, so they're playing in the Final Four of the NIT tournament.
That's correct.
And tonight they play Troy. That poor bastard doesn't stand a chance.
He does not. I hope he brings his friends.
Yeah.
He does not stand a
5-on-1.
Maybe James Madison will join him.
William and Mary.
George Washington.
William and Mary show up. The starting five, William and Mary, George Washington. Troy. And who else was mentioned there? I don't know if we had another one. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston State.
Yeah, Sam Houston shows up. All right, here's the dudes tournament for you. I don't know. I get burned out on this kind of stuff, but I appease the degenerate on our program, Randy Shaver. I get burned out on talking about betting. But there's a couple of lucky sumbitches out there who could be wildly wealthy by the end of this tournament, and it all has to do with NC State, North Carolina State. Here's a guy that dumped a $1,000 wager on North Carolina State to win the tournament. 500-1 odds. Oh. Here's another guy who put... These are the guys I like the least. The guy who can just kind of shuffle up to the sports book and throw $15,000 down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
And, of course, it gets worse than that. You read stories of guys making $1 million. That's just not real life to me, but I'll go ahead.
Agree.
$14,000, sorry, he put down on NC State at 70-1. So there was an article written about how these two schmucks will be getting all the attention at the strip joint.
Well, you got to give them. I mean, they've got the money and they're willing to risk it, and they took a chance. And they haven't won anything yet, by the way.
No, they have not.
If I were that guy, I'd be protecting that bet by making a bet on the other team right now, just to make some money somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That was written up in the article, I believe, saying they've got time to hedge their bet if they want it. Right?
I absolutely would.
That's what you would do?
Yes.
You would consider
it. Well, you're staring $500,000 in the face if they win, so go put $20,000 on the team they're playing Saturday, you know?
You would consider yourself a winner already for getting this far.
But that game doesn't get them to the...
No, but then if you lose that one, then you go throw 40 on the championship game on the other team. And you're still winning. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a couple more characters joining that fight against the Golden Gopher women's team tonight. You know, Troy's going to show up, William and Mary, this and that. Oral Roberts is going to be there.
Sure.
Where was the other one? God dang it, I had it right here in front of me. Oral Roberts is going to be there. And then I lost it. One of you douchebags clicked on my message and it disappeared. I hate you guys.
I don't think that's what happened. I think more text came in.
Isn't that what happens when someone clicks on it? It disappears?
No, it doesn't disappear.
No.
It's no longer lit up. That sucks.
I don't know how that works. God, it was another Oral Rob. George Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Who was
George
that?
Mason.
Yeah, George Mason. I got that right? George Mason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what the text said.
Yeah. Pigs Report brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Don't remind us of stuff like this. Somebody texted in local 34 Jesus. Darren Sharper went to William and Mary. Don't tell us that. Is it?
Yeah, we don't need to know that.
Did he really go to school?
Especially Darren Sharper.
Don't remind us of that guy. What's the matter with you? All right, the Pigs. They got a win last night, 3-2 over the Ottawa Senators. And I keep reading things saying, hey, their playoff hopes are still alive. I haven't done the arithmetic.
I don't think so.
I watched part of the game. I watched part of the game last night, and the part that I saw, they had a graphic where they broke down if the Wild go 7-1-1. These three teams have to do this, and I mean,
that's a lot of stuff.
There is a chance. There is a chance, but they got to win them all.
Well, here's the thing:
a lot of things have to happen.
They're 6 points behind the Kings right now, right? Not even Nashville anymore. It's the Kings that they're chasing.
Yeah.
And they've got some critical games left on the schedule against teams that they're chasing, but they still got St. Louis Blues sitting ahead of them, too. So they've got to leap a team just to get to that final playoff spot. It's not impossible. It's there, but it's not likely.
As of yesterday, they had a 4.1% chance to make the playoffs.
Oh,
all right.
My God.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Still alive, baby.
They beat the Ottawa Senators by a goal. I caught the end of the game. Did you see that Kachuk kid?
Yeah.
Come unglued?
Did you see Faber punch him in his face a couple times?
No, I saw Kachuk dump a couple punches on him.
Yeah, Faber got in there and
All the Kachucks are crazy, and I effing love them for it.
When they were trying to pull him back, I was like, wow, just like his dad, just fiery.
I love the way his dad operated, and both the kids, I think there's only 2 playing in the NHL, they're totally crazy, and they're completely dirty, and I love them for it. Love them. So they got the win. Tomorrow night, Zach comes back home for a game.
Oh.
Zach and the Colorado Avalanche, they look pretty damn good right now as far as the standings.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there with the Dallas Stars and the Vancouver Canucks for the #1 seed in the conference. So I'll be looking at that one. I'm hoping Zach just, come on, like 5-6 goals, right? That'd be a riot.
Pulls down his breezers, picks us off.
Well, I mean, that was a conversation we had with him, right?
Yeah.
Well, what was he joking around about?
Oh, what was that?
Do you remember that, Josh? He talked, maybe when he first signed with the Islanders, he said if he got 2, 3, 4 goals, he might moon the crowd.
Yeah, it was definitely with the Islanders.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. Tibbs Jesus checked in. The Wild chances went from 4.1 to 4.3% with their win last night.
Oh, look at that. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Chip it away, baby.
Take
Chip it
my
away.
money.
One game at a time.
I hear you. Yeah, so that'll be something. Tomorrow night, is that what I said? Yeah, the Colorado Avalanche are in town. Ryan Hartman, we mentioned he got fined and suspended and whatnot for throwing his stick out onto the ice. The league said he's going to lose $62,000 in salary, and there are some fans who want to help him with what do they call that gimmick?
GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe? Yeah, no thanks.
I think he's doing okay.
Frozen 4, of course, is on its way. When the hell does that start? Thursday? Tomorrow?
Next week.
Typically, it's Thursday. Next week, yeah.
No, they wait a week. That's right. They wait a week because they don't want to...
They want to compete with basketball.
And they want to let everyone... Casual fans, they want to let everyone completely forget. I hate that move that they make in college hockey. Just friggin' play. Oh, so yeah, there's no reason even bringing this up. That's right. That's next week.
Yep.
No, but college hockey, Jimmy Snuggerud deciding to stay with the Gophers is big news.
Sure.
Huge news.
Sure.
They're deciding not to sign with the St. Louis Blues.
The Blues wanted him suited up by tomorrow night.
Yeah, they wanted him to play.
That's how bad they wanted Jimmy Snuggerud. But he said no. I think there was some contractual stuff in there that motivated Jimmy to stay here in town. Nothing set in stone. Of course, remember what that Cooley kid had to say. Last year, Logan Cooley said, yeah, I'll come back to the U of M. Next thing you know, he's at an Arizona Coyotes beer party. You know what I mean?
I've always thought that's got to be one of the weirdest transitions in sports. You go from riding a bus with your college teammates, all of a sudden you're playing in an NHL game.
Yeah.
Jackson Nelson.
Yeah.
Jackson Nelson, however, has signed an entry-level contract with the Boston Bruins. So he won't be coming. Boy, what a great end to his career that he had.
Yeah.
I hope he turns out to be a great pro. I really like that kid's style. So there you go. Thank you, Luther Kia of Bloomington, for our wild report. What else did I have going?
I think Foligno ended up having that surgery, too.
Yeah, he did.
We mentioned that, I think, a couple of days ago.
Oh, we did? Okay.
What killed this Vontae Davis individual?
I don't think they've said yet.
I don't know. Haven't seen a
former NFL cornerback, if you're not totally familiar with the name, former NFL cornerback, 35 years old. They found him dead the other day.
I read an article this morning kind of talking about the 911 call, but yeah, that article said that they haven't determined yet. No foul play.
That's a terrible thing. I just wonder what the hell went on there.
So he was in the gym of his grandma's house. He lives with his grandma.
Oh, he was in
There's like a home gym.
Workout room.
And they found him either in it or right next to it.
Oh, well, that puts a whole different paint job on things. I did not have that information in front of me. Jesus. God, that makes me think of Gaetan Duchesne. Former North Star Gaetan Duchesne. Did he not die working out? Poor guy. Someone look that up. He was part of that 91 North Stars team.
Yep.
God dang it, I swear to God he died working out.
Oh, that's such a crappy way to go.
But, it's one of those iffy things,
We're safe.
Yeah, we're all right.
Oh, thankfully.
If you don't know that you have an underlying this problem or that problem, you're pumping weights. Someone looked that up. Gaetan Duchesne. There was any...
Just trying to figure out how to spell it.
Trying to figure out how to spell the name first.
D-U something. Gaetan Duchesne.
D-U-C-H-E-N-E, I think it is.
Let's go with that. All right, I know this stuff gets real tired, but my job is to throw it your way, and if you want in, we can let her buck. If you want nothing to do with it, you just have to say the magic words. And today the magic words are kangaroo panties. The Chargers, this is the latest headline. The Chargers...
Kangaroo
Kangaroo panties.
Thank you.
Can we hear the rest of it, though? Is it a quarterback trade? Is that what it is?
Oh, God. Exhausted already.
Randy already gave us the kangaroo.
Yeah, I know.
He said
I kind of figured that's where you were going with it.
What's that, Wapple?
Panthers.
Gaetan died of a heart attack, so it could have been working out.
There's no specifics?
Yeah, no specifics.
I remember it being a workout thing. And no, I'm not thinking of Sergei Zholtok. Sergei Zholtok was playing hockey. All right. All I had to say was the Chargers, and Randy dumped the kangaroo panties on me.
Kangaroo panties.
And I guessed what it was.
Yeah,
so.
you did. It was a quarterback thing.
For the record, I like it, but we won't have to talk about it. For the record, I like it, but we don't have to talk about it. I would rather do that than draft one.
All right. Yeah, I like it too.
I like the guy.
Justin Herbert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Chargers should trade Justin Herbert to the Vikings is the story. I like it too. I like that. I like having an established guy as opposed to some friggin'...
I think that helps keep the wide receiver around here.
Yeah.
That certainly does.
Helps out Harbaugh, too, because he coached McCarthy.
Yeah, but that's kind of a dangerous thing for Harbaugh, too.
Yeah.
You just got this brand new job, and now you're going to rely on a rookie quarterback. Granted, you coach the guy and you know him well, but still.
You likely don't have to give up both your first-round draft picks either, so... See, we said we weren't going to talk about it. Now we are.
No,
Kangaroo panties.
But that's the end of it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I got a cute little note on the gas bag.
Oh, God.
This is funny, though.
Why?
Yeah, this is something worth bringing up, I think.
Okay.
Karen Rogers, here's a cute little note on that douche. It has to do with the NFL's performance-based payouts, which I know nothing about, but I'm going to throw it your way. Rogers basically didn't play at all last season. He was only on the field for a few seconds before his Achilles gave way. But he was on the field, and because he was there, he is entitled to performance-based pay. That's how it all works, I guess. According to that friggin' stalker, Adam Schefter, Karen Rogers received his performance-based money, and they handed him $81.14.
I hope he does the right thing and donates it to charity.
Nice work.
Oh, man.
$81.14. That was apparently the lowest among all NFL players this season.
It's like when you see some actor post like a residual check they got from a movie from 1986, and it's like 72 cents.
$81 for 4 seconds of work, somebody tweeted. That's $73,000 an hour. That's funny. And it's hard to believe that this is still happening, but Carson Wentz has agreed to it.
What's that guy?
Are you all right?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Does he owe you money or something?
No, but I mean, honest to God, talk about a guy who has survived on like 1 year in the pros that was a good season. Jesus, God, let him go.
So he must owe you money or something.
I mean, really, let him go.
He's going to back up that Patrick Mahomes fella there in Kansas City.
Well, that's probably a pretty safe place to be to never play. Number one. But
and
still.
if you get thrown in there, you're probably going to have a decent chance of being okay in that system.
Yeah, but
injuries just tore the guy to pieces.
Just
right? Is that
give it up?
Injuries just tore him limb from limb, from what I remember about Carson Wentz. Give it up, he says.
God, he at one point got a 4-year, $128 million contract.
It's just amazing.
Hey, Brad, you got to leave, don't you?
I do.
That's
I was
cool.
just about to say that.
You know what? If Brad's leaving, then we're all leaving.
Yep.
Why does Brad have to leave? Why is Brad leaving?
He's got to go teach
I got
kids.
it. Yeah, a couple of days here this semester. I got a hard out at 8:15.
You got a what out?
I got a what? Never mind.
He is pulling
I think
someone's heart out.
on that note.
See you later, Brad.
All right, bye.
Randy, it's an industry term. You wouldn't understand.
He's jacking off.
It's a hard out.
You're yes. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's a hard out, all right.
Brad's got to go. When a guy's got a hard out, he's got a hard out.
Yes, he does.
All right, Randy, we'll talk to you tomorrow too, son.
All right, see you.
Thanks, dude. Coming up next, a visit from an old pal. Colonel, spelt K.
So ridiculous.
An old friend is swinging by the studio.
Ashley.
We met him back when he was just a grunt peon with his State Patrol officer starter kit, didn't we, Josh?
We did, yeah.
We met
They
him
gave him a plastic gun, a plastic badge they got out of a Perkins wishing well.
years ago. A fella by the name of Matt Langer. He made it all the way up to Colonel, which is spelled Kernel. Colonel Matt Langer. Yesterday we were sitting around having a conversation about Matt's visit today, and Ashley looks at the proper spelling for Colonel, and you had no idea what you were looking at.
Well,
She's like, what is this? Where's the R?
She was looking at me like I was an idiot. I put it on our calendar, and she's like, why did you spell, what is that word that you put in front of Matt Lane?
Colonel?
You came, Now, she didn't say it, but you came very close to saying colonel.
Yeah. You're like, well, wait, yeah, you were upset that there was no R in there, and you looked at me like I was a big dummy.
Like, this doesn't make any sense.
That was fun.
Now, Langer, I guess, is here to say goodbye, and we'll understand and learn all of what he's talking about when he swings by here next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show. Comedian John Christ.
How long have you been in Nashville? Let's see, 2018 is when I moved here. I lived in an apartment. I didn't know anything about it. I lived in L.A.
You were living in L.A.? How was that?
Yeah. Well, let's see, good for my career. Sent me to rehab, though, so that's pretty much the sum of it.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
They want to glorify the fact that they're criminals. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed under the jail just for being dumb.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, sure. Welcome back to the Half-Assed Morning Show. What is going on now? What is this? Twice in a week we've had cops on air? People are going to start to think we're friggin' narcs. Twice in a week, I think it is. Welcome back to the show. An old friend now. Another average, unimpressive character, really, whose profile skyrocketed after making regular appearances on our radio program. Another in the long line, Josh. Colonel Matt Langer of the Minnesota State Patrol. Hello, Colonel Langer.
Man, it's good to be back. I couldn't get in the building, but it's good to be back.
Well, you've lost a little bit of ranking since you were here last. Now it's all about Gordon Shank on 93X. We realize in real life you're his superior, but here it's Shank.
Shank.
You abandoned us for a luxurious position at the top of the State Patrol.
I thought we got rid of Captain Shank. He still works here?
He's still here, yeah.
Really?
He's still a member of the State Patrol.
Oh, I'll look into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you're still with the patrol through Friday? Is Friday your last day?
Friday's my last day.
Oh, you're going to fire all the dicks? Is this it for a few people?
Well, I don't know. There's a few people on the list. But I won't get to them by Friday. They'll get a pass.
How far do we go back? I'm trying to remember, Langer, when you made your first appearance on this here radio show.
You know what?
Was it 15 years?
About 2008, 9-ish.
So, when you left here, what was your rank? Were you a lieutenant?
Yep, I was a lieutenant moving to captain, and I might have been here a couple times as captain.
Okay, I know you did make a couple appearances.
Once I left here, I got promoted a bunch, though. So I don't know. You might have been holding me back.
Oh, you think it's holding you back instead of launching your career?
I don't know. It depends on how you look at it, but that's crazy. So 2008, 9, for our listening audience who might not be totally dialed in, I mean, you probably know that for years and years we've enjoyed featuring a member of the Minnesota State Patrol to talk about this and that. Langer was maybe our second.
Yep. Started with Lieutenant Mark Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Peterson.
Yep.
Langer.
That dude, hilarious.
We've gone on from there. Roski, whom I'm missing. But at any rate.
Tiffany,
Nielsen, Amber Nielsen. And Langer was one of the, like I said, in the early days of this gimmick, and we just always enjoyed having you on.
You were on AM then, weren't you?
Yes.
I thought we still were.
Yeah, but we still are.
We were an AM show. As soon as we got off the air, Josh and I had to go do children's birthday parties. Yeah, we were a struggling morning show at the time. We had to head, but it's
and
great.
Look at you now.
I know, elderly.
That's the first thing you said when I caught you in the hall. You said, you look like garbage.
You look old.
Is that great? I mean, I can't. It's tough to see with the lights and the windows here, but you got gray hair up there, Langer?
I got a little bit of gray hair.
When we first had you in studio, you like a fresh-faced blonde kid. Looked like an 8th grader.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, we called you YTL, Young Trooper Langer.
That's right.
Because you were, how long were you on the force when you first joined the show here?
Oh, almost 10 years.
Oh, is it that long? Okay.
Yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah.
I remember before you, and I mentioned this before, but before you joined us the first time, there were a couple of troopers who should be on that firing list, by the way, who had said, this guy, he's going to lead the State Patrol. He's a golden boy. He's going to be the guy. And lo and behold, that's the case. You ended up doing that. And now you're leaving.
Yeah, now I am. I'm sad to leave because I still like the job. I love the people I work with and what we do, but also excited for a new adventure. So I was kind of laughing. Like I feel like I know almost everything about what to do today, and then on Monday I won't know anything about what to do. So I'll be kind of like you guys on Monday,
not knowing what to do.
Right? Like just kind of bumping along.
There was a really nice write. I apologize if I've missed any, but the Pioneer Press had a really nice write-up on you. It was a little long for my taste, but it was nice.
Didn't hold your attention?
No, it did. I read. I figured I should probably read all this. But so your new job sounds it's still in police work, but it's worldwide. What you're going to be doing?
Yeah. So they have about 34,000 members across the world. Most of them police chiefs. And not all of policing happens in the United States. There's places that do it a lot better. There's places that need to do it better than they're currently doing it. So I'll do some traffic safety work. I'll do some leadership development work, and then I'll be a connection to the 7 world regional chairs. So it still feels weird to say that, like people say, well, you're going to have an impact across the world. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I'll be involved with things that are happening long outside of the Minnesota border. I almost said Minneapolis, like trying to stretch my head into thinking what the job is about. So
will you live here still?
I will. Yeah, I'm living here.
I can see it in lights, in bright lights. What do you think of this? Langer, worldwide.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you should get a worldwide stomach tattoo.
Oh, cool.
That'd be awesome.
I have if we're going to do that, I have some work to do first.
A couple of crunches?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That's really interesting. How long did you serve as colonel?
About 10 years.
Josh asked that already, sorry. And now you're moving on. Well, that's a hell of a deal. By the way, our listeners, if they want, like we regularly do with the State Patrol, they should feel free to send in some questions about laws and whatever, like we always do. 651-989-9393.
I love that you're going to set yourself up with some mean text from your partners if you screw anything up.
Hit me. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, people don't know that. Like the funny thing is about being on this show, and everybody says it. Everyone who's been on the show says the same thing is, there's so many troopers that listen, cops, deputies, of course, and they're hinging on every word you say, hoping that you screw something up. So as soon as you get out to your car, they can tell you didn't answer that correctly. So there's like no pressure in being here at all.
It's a ball buster's worst nightmare, or paradise, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, they can't wait for you to say something that might be slightly inaccurate so they can attack you. Yes,
that's right.
Cool Plumber Dude Jesus has a question for you. Is it legal to ride in the box of a truck? I heard as long as the cab is full and there's people in the box, you can put them in the back. In the box. Is that cool?
Bringing me back to like all the. These questions don't change.
Oh, God, it's unbelievable.
Well, there's a lot of people joking about window tint.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get to that.
We've always been straight up tortured by window tint questions.
Window tint, sexual activity behind the wheel. Like those are the things that come up a lot.
Can I give the cop the finger?
How come they could be on their computers?
Right.
Well, the box truck thing is like the pickup question. And one of the ways that I've always explained it is you can oftentimes work around the law to figure out how to be as unsafe as possible. And that question kind of goes to that statement. So you're crazy to want to ride in the back of a pickup or in the back of a box truck. Even if we can line up a bunch of statutes and figure out how to make this work legally, you're still crazy to do it because it's super unsafe.
Yeah, you're bouncing around like a pinball back
You can drive barefoot, too. Let's just get right to the...
Oh, really? Can you?
There is no law.
Told me I couldn't.
There's no law about driving barefoot. Except for you get hurt sometimes if you drive barefoot. So you can, Crocs, aren't the best footwear for driving.
Is that right?
Not the best.
Crocs have caused problems. Well, isn't that interesting, though, the way you came off when you were asked about the box truck or the back of a pickup? Hey, we all get old. When I was a kid, never occurred to me that there would be a problem. At my age now, I'd agree with you, Langer. You got to be nuts.
Nick, you're old enough that back in the day, like all you needed was like your parents' like arm to save you from a crash.
Oh yeah,
Whip
the mom
that
arm.
right arm out.
Exactly.
Sure.
Seatbelts. Who the hell put on seatbelts? Back in the day, hell yeah, I had no fear. Now I would be absolutely helpless back there. Even just a standard left turn, I would go shooting across.
Our core strength isn't what it used to be.
But no, and we killed a lot of people back in the day when seatbelts were not the norm, so they are now. And Nick, you're like old enough now that you're probably complaining about how fast everyone else is going. Right? This has changed.
Dude, you ain't kidding.
Yeah,
Josh and I have those conversations.
So I go...
Stay off the interstate, Nick?
As much as I can. I
do. In my neighborhood, there's no sidewalks, and a lot of people walk, right? And it's kind of like this curvy road, and so I always go like, the speed limit's 30, I go like 20. I get my ass ridden so much by angry moms in the neighborhood, it's crazy. But I think it's like, you come around a corner, you're going to take an old lady out or something like that.
Oh, it's changed, and we're trying to get that back together again. COVID, of course, kind of blew some things up, especially when it comes to driving behavior. So we hear it all the time. It's still going on, and it's super frustrating, especially for those of us that try to be reasonable. And I didn't think I'd include us in reasonable back in the day, but I do now.
No, we absolutely do belong.
We've gotten older.
Under that umbrella. We're reasonable, older gentlemen now who are concerned about safety and this and that. I mean, sure. Josh and I talk about it all the time. We kind of hover around 60 miles an hour no matter what the situation.
I go 59, and it's all. The reason is I'm afraid if I go the speed limit, the cop's going to think I'm up to something, and I don't want the cop to think I'm a nerd. They'll think, that guy's pretty cool.
The older I get, the less I'm in a hurry to get anywhere.
That's true.
Yep. The less I'm in a hurry.
And then the minute you are in a hurry, everyone's in your way.
There you go.
So you referenced this, and the article I was mentioning from the Pioneer Press did as well. What is it about the pandemic that made people speed so much? Is it just because there was less traffic and it was opened up, or is there, maybe you guys don't know?
I don't, there's theories on it, but it definitely changed how people drove. Certainly less congestion. Maybe, people that were risk takers were more likely to be on the road because everyone else was trying to follow the rules and stay home and do what people were telling us to do. I don't know, but there's something deeper than that too, because it feels like even now in society, whether it's at schools or hospitals, like you talk to people in various settings and they're dealing with people that just seem to have a chip on their shoulder, not just on the roads, but other places too. So a lot of theories. I don't know that anyone has it totally figured out, but things definitely changed. And it's gotten a little better, but it certainly isn't back to the way that it was before.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there is like this new angry vibe.
Yeah. There's this great actually he's the colonel in Utah. I know him really well. And he was saying like, if you acted like people act on the freeway anywhere else in life, like it wouldn't work. So picture like at church going up for communion, or picture like at the grocery store where there's a line and you're like pushing people in front of you and going around them. Like, it wouldn't work anywhere else in life.
The communion thing's great. I picture someone's not letting another guy merge when there's two lanes to get up there.
You move over a little bit to pinch them off. Like, it would not work very well.
I have a theory also on the lawlessness of drivers when COVID first hit town. And my theory is there was a certain amount of people out there who were goofy enough to really think that this was going to be the end of time.
Oh, I think so.
So what does it matter? Right?
Yeah.
They really thought this was it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my theory.
Yeah, it is different. And there was some drop in enforcement, so I think people thought, well, I can get away with it now.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Here's someone, they have a question about witnessing an accident or a near accident, somebody running somebody off the side of the road.
You mean a crash?
Oh, that's right. You don't call them accidents. I forgot. Cops don't call them accidents.
Why is that? What happened there? Why is an accident no longer an accident? Now it's a crash.
Well, there have always been crashes. I thought you guys got the memo on that.
No, you're right. I've heard that before.
Yeah, we faxed it over to you. But we call them crashes because there's a reason why they happen. So accidents are not as easy to figure out exactly what happened, but crashes, we know why they happen.
But it's not an on purpose, usually. It is an accident.
Generally.
But I hear what you're saying. I've heard cops say it.
Just go with me on this.
All right, I will.
We'll go along with it.
You're on your way out.
That's right.
Well, whatever you want, man.
We'll agree with Grandpa. Just to not upset him, sure.
So the person wants to know if they're driving, would they be guilty of distracted driving if they take photos of a vehicle that has left the scene of an accident or tried to record the very end of it? They're trying to find this person that ran someone off the road.
Hold on one second. I'm totally distracted because the guy calling me right now is Colonel Mike Rappich from Utah. Like, you can
the
see
dude
the
you
phone.
just brought up?
Are you guys live in Utah too?
Well, it streams around the world, so you can listen.
Look at that.
Hey, Langer, you're not the only one who's worldwide over there.
Check out my stomach tattoo.
The guy back to this question about photos with crashes. Go ahead one more time.
So again, somebody runs somebody off the road.
Yep.
The person that does that takes off, right? So they want to know, can I take a picture of the vehicle or maybe a recording or something without being charged with distracted driving?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the hands-free law applies except in the case of an emergency. So you could, I suppose, if that situation warranted it, you could say that that's an emergency and you had to do it. But we also, want people to make sure they're being safe. Like, don't create a second emergency just because you think there is a first emergency.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but getting the license plate, vehicle description, all that stuff is helpful for our folks when they get there to try to figure out who did what.
Driving instructor Jesus is on your side. He said, someone's always at fault when it comes to a crash. We should stop calling them accidents as a whole. It's part of the no one is accountable era.
See?
Yeah, you're right. I've heard you say that, and I forgot. Shame on me.
Okay.
I've got a question for you because I've done this before. When somebody calls in somebody that they believe to be intoxicated, what happens? Do you guys actually go out and find that person?
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
Because you want to party with them? Or
we want to nail them and bring them to jail. Actually, it does work often. It depends on the information that you're providing, of course. Like, the more detail, the better. And then our dispatchers do an awesome job. Like, so much work happens at dispatch in those cases. It's crazy, and they don't get the credit they should. And then the troopers are figuring it out. So there's times where, like, someone will say, I'm following this impaired driver, and we're northbound on 35E on the Parkway in St. Paul, and they give the information, give the license plate. Dispatcher will, find out the vehicle registers in Forest Lake, and then troopers will actually try to, like, okay, if they're in St. Paul now and I am, in Vadnais Heights, I can kind of get in a position to look for it. So it doesn't happen all of the time with every call that comes in, but a lot of impaired drivers do get arrested by people who call 911. We just want to make sure you have the vehicle description, that it's like good information, and that you know where you are and you can call us safely, but it works.
That's good to know.
Got to thank plenty of people have been texting in, longtime listeners. Thank you for listening so long and for remembering these stories of when you first started. I'm sure you assumed these would come up.
It's good and bad, isn't it, Josh, that some people remember everything?
That's true. Yeah. Sometimes it can be very, very, very things you're trying to forget yourself.
How much time do we have left?
Oh, you got plenty of time. Don't worry.
Great.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
He thought he was done.
You remember when we had your mom call in?
I do remember.
Your mom called in and told us a story about when you were just a young buck, first became a trooper, and you're cleaning your vehicle out. You wanted to have everything shiny, and you locked yourself in the back of your squad.
Look, guys, it's normal. Like this happens.
Happens to everybody?
Yeah, it does.
You were vacuuming out your squad car. You locked yourself in the damn thing.
We got to keep it clean.
Yeah.
So I forget, did she have to let you out? Who let you out?
No, she was of no help.
No help whatsoever?
None.
And people are wondering because at one time you admitted your wife wouldn't let you drink chocolate milk.
Yep.
Has that changed now that you're the big dog over at the State Patrol?
Come on. When you become colonel, you can drink whatever you want to drink, right?
Well, you'd like to think so, but she still runs a tight ship.
Is that right?
Still doesn't.
Still in charge.
Were you ever tempted just to put a straw in some chocolate milk, drink it, and look her right in the eye?
That's right.
I'm the colonel.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you going to say to the colonel?
Go ahead, step up. Jump if you want to jump. That's right. I got chocolate milk in my mouth right now.
That's right. Yeah.
You're a bad mother effer is what you are.
Can you? So I forget. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
2 kids.
Yep.
Grown up now?
Not totally.
Yeah.
Not totally.
Getting there.
Driving though?
They'd both drive. Yep.
I bet
That's
that
crazy.
sucks.
That was crazy.
Having a dad in your position and you're a
You know
driver?
what though? Like I talk about this. We're batting 1,000 on passing the driving test. I take credit for that.
Do you really?
Yeah, in our house we're batting 1,000.
That's
We went
great.
2 for 2.
First timers?
First attempt, 2 for 2. Parallel parking, the whole thing.
That's awesome. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
No failures in the family.
0. My wife, she doesn't talk about this, but she started driving when she was 15 years old on a farm permit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a lot of farm permit questions here, do we, on the program?
You know, very rarely. I know we've had a couple, but very rarely.
Yeah.
A lot of them have to do with, can I get drunk and let my kid drive on our property?
There you go.
Farm
Yeah.
permit.
The old farm permit, ain't that something?
Yeah, not as much. It's still a thing in a lot of parts of the state.
Yeah. We're wrapping with Colonel Matt Langer of the Minnesota State Patrol, who's moving on to a new gig. We got to take a break, but we're still open to your questions. And Langer's open to answering them, or at least trying to. 651-989-9393. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more from formerly YTL, formerly Young Trooper Langer, now old-timer Colonel Langer.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
All right, we're back with Colonel Matt Langer of the Minnesota State Patrol. We got a few minutes left here on the program. He's an old pal of the show. He's moving on to a new gig, and he came to say goodbye to the brother and the sisterhood. We'll try to get to a couple more questions from our listening audience for Matt Langer before we leave. But we've been sitting here busting balls and having fun, but I wanted to mention something really nice that I read about you, Matt Langer, in that Pioneer Press article. You had a habit, a tradition of sending cards to the families of people who were killed in automobile crashes. You had that tradition of sending your condolences. And when I read about that, I thought, wow, that's really, really cool, really sweet of you, and I bet that's something that folks are totally unaware of. Can you tell us more about how that started?
Yeah, it has been really fun to do it. I get a lot out of it. It's enjoyable to kind of think back about those relationships that have been formed out of a tragedy. So I knew of a retired trooper, Tom Ludford, that did this to a family, Barb and John Degnan, when their son Dan was killed many years ago. And he had called them on the anniversary of their death, which was right around Christmas time on Christmas Eve. And then after a while, Tom actually passed away. So I picked up when he passed away.
Okay.
I started sending cards, and then I've done it to a lot of people over the years. So it's a way to stay connected, and I think people appreciate it because those anniversaries are really tough.
Yeah.
And we can't just forget about what they think about on those anniversaries.
That's just one of the most sweet and meaningful things I've heard in a long time.
It's great. We wouldn't have expected it from you, just kind of on the outside. But I'm glad that, in all seriousness, I'm glad that came out because, troopers who know you have told us that off air before. Did you know he does this? Did you know? And that was I can't imagine how nice that would be for the family that somebody would remember year after year. Because I'm sure the first year, the first anniversary, maybe the second anniversary, people are reaching out and then people's lives get busy and maybe they don't say anything again.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that especially somebody in your position would do that.
Yeah, and of course we feel like we should be able to do that for everyone, and that's not reality. But I'm not the only one. There's a lot of troopers that have great connections with people, but it's something I've enjoyed doing, and I plan on continuing to do it, even though no one will know who I am anymore.
And you made a lot of friends.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, the relationships that get formed over the years are pretty amazing.
Well, people are texting, and folks that know you or work with you are saying some very nice things via text. We don't get a lot of nice words coming in text, so it's nice to see that for
Just
once.
skip over all those and get down to
get to the bad stuff.
Get to the stuff to give you crap. Some people that work for you are thanking you for what you've done for them, the different programs you funded and started. Some people are happy with the equipment that has been given to them. Where was one? Thank you for the new helicopter to support the Minnesota Air Rescue Team program from a team member.
Yeah, that'll be coming about a year from now for sure at the latest. So, my first field training officer, Chris Edstrom, he was the first official trainer I had, and he still drives around doing the highway helper stuff, the first unit, the yellow trucks.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if he's working right now, but when I was on FTO with him in the afternoons, he listened to this show. Like religiously. Religiously.
Class act, huh?
Yeah, so hard to believe. But anyway, 93X is like you've been with me almost since day one, kind of.
Yeah, we have.
I haven't gotten anything out of it, but you've been with me.
We're very supportive.
Yeah, exactly.
Our undying support.
I bought you noodles once. I mean, you got a lunch out of it. That's pretty cool.
We've had a hell of a relationship with this.
And as we got to the end, we said, well, let's make a list of the media outlets that we're going to prioritize to give my time to. You're it. You're the last one. So you're the say
best.
That we're closing out my media career with the State Patrol with one of the premier programs in the world. In the world. Do I understand that?
Yes, in the world. It's an honor, Colonel Langer.
For you. No, for us. Yeah.
For us, yeah.
Many nice texts have come in from our listeners, folks that know you, folks that just got to know you by listening to this here radio show. Smokes Your Mom's Pot Jesus is one of them who texted in to say, you're his favorite of all the patrol officers that we've had on this show. So it's just been one big happy, cheesy, feel-good hug fest around here.
You've all been super helpful in humanizing who we are and what we do, and it's fun to poke fun at us a little bit. Not as much, but a little bit. But really, truly, one thing, I've lived in Minnesota my whole life, and I've said this all along. Minnesotans love their police officers. Now, I know that's not everybody, and they certainly love their troopers. So this show has been really cool for us to be human, to be on here answering questions, hopefully educating people a little bit on what to do, or a lot sometimes. And it's been fun because a ton of people listen and they pay attention, and as a result, they kind of get to know us. And so you have been super helpful to the State Patrol and super helpful for me. I don't want to make this all sappy, but it's been really cool, and I hope it continues.
Well, we've always had a fun time.
Absolutely.
You're a lifelong Minnesotan.
Yes.
You grew up in Falcon Heights, so you didn't have much of a chance from the get-go.
Right in the inner city.
Yeah. You didn't stand much of a chance, but here you are.
Yeah, look at me now.
Yeah. Well, we wish you all the luck in the world, and we hope that we get to talk soon. But all the kind words you tossed at us, we'll throw them right back at you. It's always been fun getting to know you, getting to know all the troopers, and like you said, you hope it continues. It will continue. We still have Shank wandering in here once in a while.
Well, we'll see about that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's great.
Because you get to pardon people or fire people before Friday.
Here's the good thing. The good thing is I think he's on vacation right now, so he'll never hear about anything I said.
No one's going to text him.
Yeah.
No one will text him at all.
He knows I'm a fan. So.
He's got to be the best looking guy in the State Patrol, right?
Close to it.
Yeah, we get texts on that all the time. A lot of the female listeners are big fans of Shank and how he. There's a couple that have been saying they want to know where because he goes out on the road every once in a while. They want to know where he is so they can get pulled over by him.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah,
we love having him in. We've loved everybody that you've sent our way, so we appreciate it. I know that you're the one that says, they'd be a good fit for the show or whatever, so we do appreciate that.
Well, it's been fun, and all the way back to Mark Peterson, because that's got to be almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. No, 20 years, probably in that neighborhood, 20 years.
That guy was a great combination of being hilarious and incredibly intimidating at the same time.
Yeah.
He was a big, tall Clint Eastwood type of a guy. That's who he always reminded me of.
Yep.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, he's the type of guy you just knew, I'm not going to mess with this dude.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Langer, have fun taking over the world.
Yeah, literally. You'll literally be doing you start Monday.
I do, yeah. So that'll be a big change. And I'm glad to find out that you guys are worldwide, because I won't, be somewhere missing the program.
No, if you're ever all alone and feeling like, you could use a little help saving the world, give us a call.
Yeah, there you go. I'll join the program.
Yeah, next time, Shank is in, make sure you listen. You can text him everything he does wrong.
I will. I'll be happy to say that you got that wrong.
Yeah. So what will we call you now? So what's the new title going to be?
I don't know. I don't know.
You start Monday.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were like in your 93X world, like what the title
Oh,
was.
no,
yeah,
the actual title. For the new job.
What Director of Global Policing, but that's the official
Director
title.
of Global Policing.
You guys would have
that sounds sweet.
The unofficial title.
Just you and Samuel L. Jackson, from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Global.
That sounds so mysterious.
Can we call it Team America World Police?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Good luck to you, bro.
Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Really
nice seeing you.
No, it's great. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everything. And to your listeners, we sure appreciate you supporting the State Patrol. We love it.
Happy birthday to completely forgot my Sheezus name. Sheezus, have a great Wednesday.
Hey,
everyone.
Cubby.
Yes.
A worldwide ride-along.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
There we go.
And then we could follow along with the little dots like an Indiana Jones movie. Put it over a map. Oh, here they are in Milan. On their way to Turkey.
You love to do the ride-alongs with the local cops. Now you got Langer here, who's going to be part of Team America World Police. You could be involved in a worldwide ride-along.
Just you and I in France on a tandem bike with just a big, long piece of bread on the back.
There you go.
It's glorious. All right, hammer down. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.